Well. We're starting this off right. A little fiddlesticks action. I'll take that any day. Can we give me the most up-to-date fiddlesticks, please? Most popular, highest win rate, huh? We'll go with this one. Please import. Please import. Please import properly. We're going to talk about some things today. But first, we're going to enjoy a little chill ARAM to warm up the brain, warm up the fingers, warm up the mouth. Just chit chat. Test 1, 2, 3. Boom. All right. What are we building first? Did we get the right runes? Can't remember how to check this. Yes, we did. Cool. All right, so we're going for malignants first. Until next time. Oh, we should have done a mayhem. Ooh. Fuck you. Where is the team? That's what I'm talking about. Really? You gonna leave me alone with this bitch? Oh no. Edelweiss, Edelweiss. Oh, I'm fiddle. Fiddle me timbers. Fuck you and your tentacles. Talk to me, Goose. How does the world burn tonight? The world burns at the hands of my fiddle axe, my scythe. Oh, is this where I get shut down? Allow me. CC. Yeah, here's where I die. Don't let him get me. I will survive. And as long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive. I got all my lucky. I will survive. Hey, hey. I will survive. I was on a rampage, and now I'm going to come back even stronger. They thought that fiddle was annoying. Woo, daddy. All right, so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about this obsession with lefties, the war in Iran, it's going to be a pretty short stream because I think with everything happening, with my life experience and stuff, I have a pretty vested interest in this. Obviously, with what the implications for what this can mean for our country for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And I think that there's a lot to talk about, and I don't think that we're going to get a lot of balanced commentary when or I'm sorry, I should say we're not going to get commentary in the direction I think we should have it when people are kind of succumbing to the same shit from back in the day. Where I'm hearing a lot of the same talking points that we heard during the Iraq War and the war in Afghanistan. History is going to repeat itself. It did in many ways with what happened, in the IP conflict in October of 23. A lot of the same rhetoric with us, with the terrorists, or you're with the terrorists, that kind of stuff. Bullshit about like this is for liberation of those people as much as our own safety, all that shit. And we're gonna see that play out again here. So we're gonna warm up a little bit and we're gonna talk. Ooh. Let them come. Oh, what the shit. I think we want that pot, right? Faded ashes. It's just a story. It all works. I'm so scared. The fury. The fury. The furiously bodying our opponents. We want to get that health. Oh, they got me. Damn. The CC. I don't know, to go next. Rylai's, maybe? We're too low. Oh, I didn't realize Kale ulted me. Oh, I fucked it up. Oh, it started off well, and now it's the tides are turning. Why did so many extras spawn? I don't remember that happening. Don't get caught out, man. I don't want to save your ass. Ooh, it was close. I got him as low as I could, guys. We just need Kale to get 16. That's it. Once Kale hits 16, we're fucking golden. I could have used my thing. I should have. I think I need magic pen a little bit, right? We got 1, 2 MR. Where's the tanky ones? 13% to 40%. Yeah, we're good there. Mm. All right, we got some power back.
Embrace joy. The time is now. I am your salvation.
Oh, one more level, Kale. Someone has to poop. That's what I assume every time that someone just fucking refuses to, like, feels the need to surrender a winning game or winnable game. That's how we do. Yeah, I think we're in a good spot now. Sticks. Aren't you scared? Oh, my thing was on cooldown. Boo. All right, let's hope we survive. What are we going for? We got a damage slows enemies. Do we really need that? Let's go with this. This seems hot and heavy. 65 AP, 45, and I think additional MD. ADMD. Additional MD. Additional. Iran has a right to defend itself. Well. Well, that is true. But that's not what I'm really concerned about. I have no love for the Ayatollah. I have no love for the Iranian regime. I do have a lot of love for the Iranian people that I think are ultimately very good and deserve to not have their lives and country fucked up by our stupidity. Oh, I hit it in time. Yes. Oh my God, I finally did it. I never zone you at the right moment. I am pretty happy with that. Whew. I have no health, but I have a lot of hat. I have pro-Iran stream like that's how this will be taken. Yeah, I am pro-Iranian people. I am pro not doing the stupid shit we've done before. I am pro ensuring that Americans go into this war a little more aware, and I think that we've shifted in a way. I'm still seeing my fellow Democrats say stupid shit and we shouldn't have struck, but hey, it's good the Khomeini's gone. It's like, yeah, okay, cool, congratulations, and yeah, it's good that my neighbor's dog doesn't shit in my yard anymore, but it's not good that someone fucking killed him. Good shit. Good shit. Ooh, patch updates. Hold on one second. Kale. I don't know if Kale was actually the best there. I think Nefiri might have been better, but Kale came online and, well. Champion Mastery on Fiddlesticks went up. What did we hit? What did we hit? Mastery 7? Oh, Leviosa. Ooh, look at that. Most damage. Fuck yeah. I take a lot of damage? I took a lot of damage too. I'm a tank. Damn. All right. Let's talk politics a bit. Thoughts on Hutch. Hutch is someone that I've always liked. The issue I have is that when Hutch got into politics, I saw him as a very earnest and sincere, commentator who was getting into it for all the right reasons. And now I see him going down the same, debate bro. Like, look, man, as much as I have enjoyed the space and gotten along pretty well in it, there is, to quote one of our fallen soldiers, why can't people be normal? And the obsession with Hasan, like, man, I don't like Hasan. I think Hasan has, he has personally insulted me in ways that are pretty egregious. But also at the same time, I think Hasan, he plays certain games, and whether it's audience capture or whether it's his true, genuine beliefs is hard to suss out at times. And I think that he does things that are bad, such as not using his platform to guarantee that people vote Democrat in 2026 and 2028. But my issue with Hutch is, he is a vote blue no matter who guy, like I am. But I think that he stops at the point where he has no understanding or empathy for why people might not want to vote for certain people. And the outcome ultimately is, yes, if you do not vote for them, you give, you not voting is still one more vote, that doesn't get counteracted within the general elections for a Republican, right? So there should be a social stigma about not exercising your right to vote, which is a pretty foundational, fundamental American right. But a lot of people don't vote. In general, that doesn't happen. A lot of Americans do not get out and vote. But the logical conclusion is this: when you talk down the path of vote blue no matter who, you have to. It bothers me that no one can. It talks about the logical conclusion of that, which is you are ceding to whoever makes it past the primary a guarantee that they will get their vote, and it helps them and takes away power from the people for them to know that there is a popular spreading mindset of vote blue no matter who, and it's like, cool, once I get past the primary, I can do whatever the fuck I want, because they're gonna, I mean, obviously within reason, right? But the point is that my voters are not going to hold me to account, because they are not going to not show up if it continues to be a growing sense of urgency that they come out and they vote for the Democrat. So once they make it past that post, hey, they're good, they're golden, and they're right on. So I don't like that, and I don't like that there's a lack of acknowledgement to that. But furthermore, I also don't like the idea that, someone would dare fucking compare people to Republicans, because it's like, hey, I have a moral opposition to this person. Like, if it turned out my congresswoman, was on the Epstein list and not only that, but like did horrible, horrible things, and it was in black and white. These weren't just speculations. These weren't just reports. There's black and white evidence and, of her doing egregious, crimes against humanity. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't vote for this person. The idea that someone would be like, yeah, but the Republicans, man, but the Republicans, that's un-American. The right to vote is, it's not just about, being able to choose, who is going to be our representation, and getting to vote on levies and all that stuff. It's also about the right to exercise that vote. This isn't fucking Australia. We are not legally mandated to vote, and as such, sorry, 1 second. We're not legally mandated to vote. So you have that right to vote and you have that right not to vote. And I am perfectly fine with telling people the consequences of you not voting are X. I am not fine when, we're pointing to the USAID, 14 million people that are going to die, which I've worked with USAID, when I was in Afghanistan. I have a huge fondness for that. I also have a great respect and for our use of soft power around the world. And I think it's one of the best things we can do, especially, as someone who thinks that as much as I support military intervention in the right circumstances, I don't want us to use it, willy-nilly. I think that USAID and other programs and organizations like it offer us a chance to assert that power and combat, our rivals on the global stage, but also just do a bunch of good for the world. But to bring up those numbers when the people who didn't vote for certain candidates or said they were voting for a third party or whatever was because of death in Gaza, I have a huge problem with that, because you can understand the USAID 14 million reason need to vote, but you can't understand hey, the death that people voted to support continuing giving funding to a country that was committing heinous acts. You can't understand that, really? You can't? Because I never hear a conversation where it's like, no, man, I get that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse under Trump. It has been worse under Trump, etc. It's always like fucking, I told you so. I fucking told you so. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. There's no coalition building. There's no genuine attempt to engage. And are a lot of these people inclined to not really fucking engage with you? Yes. It's the problem I have with the political space in this online world altogether, is that everyone just wants to fight, dunk, get their likes, get their views, and be done with it. There are very few people who are seriously, earnestly out here making any kind of sincere commentary just for the point of building coalitions and ensuring that we save our country. Very few people out there doing it. Josiah is one of the picture-perfect fucking examples of someone who doesn't want to play the games. He doesn't want to do the stupid fights. He just wants to go out and make good content that's going to educate people and rally the troops and get us ready for the 2026 midterms and the 2028 election. Josiah is the fucking shining beacon that everyone should aspire to. You can either be an entertainer, or you can be a political commentator, or you can be both. But if you're both, it's very hard to say that you're one or the other. Tim Pool is one of those people that likes to think that he can oscillate between journalist and shit poster, right? You fucking can't. And he uses that as a shield so that he can come out and make stupid comments, and then when that just is so undeniably, undoubtedly true, like he was doing after the 2020 election and with the election fraud and all that other stuff, he would come out and make insane comments, and as soon as those got proven wrong, he was just like, I was just memeing. You can be the Tim Pool type if you want. But here's the thing. If you're the entertainer / political commentator, that's fine. But if your actions show that you prioritize entertainment over political commentary, then I have the right and the intellectual obligation to then devalue when you talk about things like USAID, when you talk about things like, you talk about, the people that are going to die from the USAID cuts, or you talk about, the fascist threat to our democracy. And then you want to spend a week on stupid shit like fucking Hasan, who, you're only preaching to an audience that knows Hasan can be a real fucking dipshit. And that is your primary focus. Or when you're having conversations with someone sincere, like that Rashad dude on Live and Learn the other day, and he was not going down the path of talking about anti-democratic action, but you're pushing it that way. And the dude says that his ultimate ideal candidate is fucking Kamala Harris. And he's got some heat for fucking Gavin Newsom. I don't know how the immediate, just fuck you. There was no deference to the idea that he's given any sort of substantive opinion. When this guy is ultimately talking about, hey, we cannot just continue to run on Trump bad. One, when Trump is gone, if Trump goes away, there's still Trumpism that has infected the Republican Party. The Republican Party isn't going to suddenly find its mind. In fact, what we're likely going to see is someone who is much more articulate, much more capable of being normal and not being Trumpian, that is going to make a lot of the horrible Trump ideas way more palatable to the people that just can't stand the on-the-nose way that Trump talks about it. That is something that we need to do. And I'm sorry, maybe I had a fucking stroke at some point, but I remember in 2020, 2022, and 2024, us all as Democrats talking about Trump bad cannot be our platform. And this guy, Rashad, comes on and says we have to have a platform that says, hey, we are the Democratic Party. You are going to get this, this, and this from us. Come join us under the big tent. And that is what we've been saying as Democrats for years. And suddenly that night, it's a contentious thing because he says, I don't think Gavin Newsom has the fucking heat for the Republicans that he needs to have. Now, I'm making no prescription of whether or not I agree with that. I haven't seen the interview that he was referring to with Ben Shapiro. What I've heard, though, from, and, I feel that I was being pretty honest when I commented on stream the other day, that when I first heard about it, when I first listened to Live and Learn podcast, I was like, yeah, if Newsom isn't pushing back on Ben Shapiro on certain things, that's bad. And then on the second listen, I was like, you know what? Hutch and I think maybe right, because like they didn't say this, but my interpretation was because they said he did push back on other stuff. So it's like, okay, cool. If there's nothing wrong with building a rapport and talking to Shapiro about how to play the violin or whatever the fuck it was, there's nothing wrong with building a rapport with your ideological opponent in order to move the conversation along and create a space where there's going to be actual engagement, where it's not just hostile. There are different tactics for these kind of conversations, and I have no qualms with that whatsoever. But then I've gone and seen a few other clips where I don't think there was enough pushback, and I need to listen to the whole thing. But the point being is, I'm not just so anti any of these people. It is exhausting to fucking hear the commentary about the same fucking online lefties all the goddamn time. And like I come from this as someone who, this used to be my feed all the time. It was just fuck Hasan, fuck Mike, fuck all these people, the serfs and everyone else. I would just shit on these people all the time. And at some point, I just realized this is, one, not going to make anything better. We're not going to build the coalition we need. And I think the 2024 election showed that these, one, the leftist coalition is bigger than it used to be. It's growing, right? Whether substantially or not, fine. But I'm not so insecure about my liberal position within the party that I need to be so fucking afraid of these people. At the end of the day, we still hold the power. So bring them under the tent, listen to their ideas, court what we have to in order to, to guide the party in a direction that gets a lot of people excited to vote and out there to vote and builds a coalition. But at the end of the day, they're not going to fucking take us over, right? And we get to that point where more and more people and suddenly we're outnumbered. Well, hey, that's democracy, right? We'll deal with that fight when we have to. But as of right now, these people do have votes that we do need. We can't just hand wave them. That's another thing I have an issue with the online politics folks, my fellow liberals, is that we can't just say, hey, you guys don't matter. They do matter. And we can't just say, well, we're not going to court any views of yours. But no one can substantively tell me like what they would be willing to court or whether or not they would. It always turns into this stupid anti-lefty fight. Anyway, I don't want to make this all about the lefty shit, but that shit really fucking annoys me. I'm not concerned trolling anyone. If Hutch covered Ben Shapiro, who is a significantly impactful figure on the right, I would not have an issue with it. If Hutch was going after, watching his videos and all this stuff, fine. But when it's weeks of dog collar fucking commentary, when it seems to just be really low substance, I just hate him kind of stuff, when he diverts all, seems to have that lens where he's always looking for the leftyism to go after, that's what I have a problem with. Here. And is shitting on Ben Shapiro going to do anything? Yeah. Getting out there and pointing out, here's the other thing. It's all in the approach, right? You have something substantive, fine. But it's like the boy who cried wolf, when it's just anything Hasan does and it goes into this, like, you have to do multi-layers of abstraction to say that he wants to dismantle and destroy the United States government and tear up the Constitution and put everyone in camps. And it's like, okay, cool. Show me where he said that. And it's like, well, he said, he wants to, re-educate people who are, huge defenders of capitalism or whatever, and you listen to the full conversation, and it's the way it's portrayed in Clip Chimped is not the same way. Even if I don't necessarily agree with what he's talking about, it's way less objectionable though than the way it gets portrayed. And I think that kind of honesty is, or a lack of honesty rather, in that portrayal is either a lack of intellectual rigor, or it's just a bias, and you're here for entertainment, and you know that people are going to get real excited when you say fuck Hasan. And it's like, okay, cool, congratulations. Like, me too, right? Fuck Hasan. The end. So my issue right today, my biggest issue is the fact that we are attacking Iran. And I think a lot of people are standing against what is happening, and as they should. But what I'm seeing is a repeat of a lot of the shit from 2003 to 2006. And it's the whole, Saddam is gone. That's good, right? And it's like, sure, in a vacuum, you can say Saddam Hussein being gone is good. But everyone has acknowledged at this point that Saddam was, did I say Hasan Hussein? Or did I say, either way. Everyone acknowledges that Saddam was a stabilizing force in the region. And while it's nice that, the people of Iraq are no longer under Saddam's control, at the end of the day, that war is not a war that should have happened. It was illegal, and we can't post hoc justify it. So yeah, I have no love for the fucking Ayatollah, right? What I do have an issue with, though, is that no one gives a fuck about what led to the Ayatollah being in power in the first place. And we got to go all the way back to the fucking 50s when the United States and Great Britain were getting real fucking pissy because Iran wanted to nationalize their oil. And rather than thinking, okay, fine, they're going to go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and try to work with these people and make a deal and be, this is before the globalization we know today, but, make some sort of deal and agreement. It's like, fine, we don't get to have, this unfettered control over your valuable resource, and you guys are going to get more profit and money from it, and we're going to get less. But hey, it's still meaningful to us to have access to this, so let's do that. And instead, we fuck with their elections, and we get someone installed who ends up going authoritarian, and then there's a revolution. Like, this didn't just happen, and we had a fucking hand in it. And here's another thing I fucking hate with the online politics sphere, is that any commentary like that, though factually fucking accurate, and is treated as America bad. And I am still to this day a huge CIA, NSA, intelligence community, United States foreign intervention shill for the right causes. But I feel much more secure and grounded in my positions now because I'm aware of where we have done bad, and I'm aware of where we've done good. And what I hope to see is the next time we do something like this, that we're not going to fuck it up. But here's what's going to happen in Iran. If this continues to go forward, and we do have a war, and we have a ground war, and the Ayatollah is dead now, and someone is going to have to take that position. And if we get involved, what we are going to do is what we do every time we get into these positions, is we are going to try to install someone that is favorable to the United States, and that is going to be first and foremost our concern, especially under a Trump administration. That is going to be first and foremost our government's concern, than the will of the Iranian people. And that is what I'm going to have a huge fucking problem with. So we're going to go in, we're going to do another regime change, and then we're going to get another fucking leader that is there not because they are the best fit for the people of Iran. They're going to be there because they are the best fit for America. And they say the right things to get the Iranians excited, and they say the right things behind the scenes to make Americans feel safe. And by Americans, again, I mean the government. So whether now Iraq, there was the whole thing about we're just there for oil. Well, with the transparency of the Trump administration, which is a funny thing to say, but the oil is going to be a huge fucking part. And what deal Trump can cut with the new leader for oil is going to be a big thing. But ultimately, that's the huge fucking problem. There's no consideration for the history and how it got there. There's no consideration for the fact that there were multiple times after 9/11, Iran was one of the first fuckers to help us hunt down Al-Qaeda. And whether that was for mutual interest or what, it doesn't matter. Iran has several times since 9/11 tried to make deals with us. And one of the big ones that fucking came is Iran sent a deal that was going to, cut down on the production of nuclear material, that was going to let inspectors in. I had the whole list of this shit back when this flared up last year. And And Cheney said, not even fucking worth reading, and just dismissed it outright. We had a representative from our government sitting there with, getting ready to have talks with a representative from the Iranian government to have, we're going to talk about de-escalation and normalizing relations. And, the way this happens is because the Ayatollah allows it. What happens in Iran is you have these moderates that will get into power, and whether it's because of unrest from the people or a change in viewpoint from the geopolitical perspective of the Iranian government, whatever, at different times, these leaders have been able to try and negotiate with the West and to normalize relations and whatnot. And it upsets me that we're at this point of violence and that we have decapitated the leadership, and not a single fucking one of you that are like, yeah, well, the Ayatollah being gone is still fucking good. We're there a fucking 5 months ago acknowledging this shit, because none of you give a fuck about history. None of you give a fuck about how we got here. All you do is live in the here and fucking now. And it's insufferable. It's fucking insufferable. Read a goddamn book. And we're not even talking about like fucking, and this isn't like leftist shit, man. This is foreign policy and being educated on it. And it's upsetting enough when the people in power know better and they know this history and they choose to operate as if they don't. What's really upsetting is the people who, like fucking streamers who don't have an obligation to a voter base or don't have their own, personal grievances they want to take out. Like what's his nuts? Our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, who wants to enact vengeance on fucking Cuba. Again, I have no love for fucking communism. I have no love for the communist state, but I do have a fucking acknowledgement of how we have fucking ravaged that country with our unnecessary fucking blockades. This isn't 1960 goddamn whatever the fuck it was with the Cuban Missile Crisis. We're not dealing with that. And these people fucking suffer because of stupid fucking bullshit. We wanted to, me as a Republican back in the day, getting upset with fucking Obama for trying to normalize our relations with Cuba. What the fuck is wrong with that? Nothing whatsoever. Just because you try to normalize, just because you try to start down the path towards peace and whatnot, like let's think of the positive benefits of making inroads with these countries where we can have some semblance of influence. Again, this is where we go back to the Iranian situation with all these different times where before even the JCPOA, where the fucking we had opportunities to normalize relations, to lift sanctions and show good faith. And, we have these bodies that are telling us that Iran is not in any way, shape, or form developing a nuclear program. And even if they are enriching uranium past the minimum necessary level for energy consumption, we are still treating them as if they are building nukes. Just for what? What is the purpose of that dishonesty? Yes, I do have love for one communist in my life. Yes, of course, but in communism in general, and that's the other thing. I won't speak too much to Erin's politics. I'll let her tell her own story. But at the end of the day, Erin is, whatever your stereotypical conceptions of a communist are. Erin doesn't fit them, and I assume that one's stereotypical perceptions in this space are someone like Hasan or Mike from PA or whatnot. Yeah, that's exactly like, the Iran nuclear deal was there. And then we have the fucking dudes from Oman coming out and saying like, hey, like they're trying to get ahead of this because they knew what Trump was going to do. And they're like, hey, Iran's giving all these concessions, all the shit that you guys want. Iran is giving it. Look at how great it is. I haven't even done a comparison, but I heard some people say that it was even better than the JCPOA, what they agreed to. I don't know if that's true. So that's unverified intel from me. What? Come here. Quit bitching and just chill, man. Jesus. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? So there was an attack today. Oh, I think it was today. I saw the news this morning in Pakistan. And like the history of radical fundamentalism in Pakistan is long and ties into the U.S. foreign policy and goes back both through two wars in Afghanistan. It goes through the history of like Wahhabism and the rise of radical Islam in Saudi Arabia. There's a little bit of the Bin Ladens there. You know, the Afghan war was pretty complex back in the 80s. And the United States was working with the Saudi government and the Pakistani government. I almost said Paki. That's racist. And the Pakistani government. I just watched, what do you call it? Bohemian Rhapsody, and they call him a Paki in it. So they, there was a lot of shit. I don't even know where to start. And this is why I think like I'm going to do this short little stream, but I think I'm going to spend a lot of time coming in here, and I'm going to have a much more organized series of streams on this shit. But, you know, Pakistan were fuckers. But we fucked them over too. So like, for example, we have, it's not the Hatch Act. What's it called? There's a give me 1 second. Act where we have to verify Pakistan nuclear development 90s. Pressler Amendment. Thank you. All right. So the Pressler Amendment. So we had the Pressler Amendment. And like while Pakistan was working with us, we ignored the Pressler Amendment, even though we knew they developed nuclear weapons that they weren't supposed to. And the Pressler Amendment required us to once a year determine whether or not they have advanced their nuclear weapon capabilities. Pakistan had broken off from India. They had been in constant conflict. I think I can't remember if India got their nukes first, but the Pressler Amendment was to make sure that Pakistan didn't develop nuclear weapons. And we knew they had gone well beyond where they fucking should have, but we ignored it because we needed them for Afghanistan. They were critical to our supplies. They were critical to our intelligence. We were working with Directorate S from the Pakistani military, which is their huge intelligence apparatus. And Pakistan has their war with India going on, and there's a war over Kashmir. And Pakistan, as these crazy jihadis were coming into Afghanistan in the 80s, Pakistan started using them for their war in Kashmir. But once we were done with Afghanistan and we fucking screwed the pooch there by just dipping out and pretending like, okay, cool, Soviets are gone, Soviet Union is collapsing, we don't give a fuck anymore. Suddenly Bush comes in, Bush 1, and says, okay, cool, now we're going to hold you to account for all the Pressler violations. And what that ends up doing is completely souring Pakistan on us. Another thing is that, you know, Pakistan is left to kind of handle the crazy fucking jihadis that are sitting in Afghanistan right on their border. And we failed, despite warnings from our own CIA operators that were over there that were saying, the station chief, I think in Lahore, and it was saying, I think that's who it was saying, hey, this shit's getting bad, man. Like we're, you know, in Afghanistan, people like Bin Laden are importing these, these radicals, people that are coming here to fight this war, not for necessarily for the freedom of those in Afghanistan, but to fight, you know, this radical jihad, and people just ignored the cables, rerouted the cables, reprimanded people. I think the Mick something or whatever his name was who sent the first cable about this was like removed from his position. There were these threats that we just fucking ignored, and we did nothing about it, and then we left Pakistan to deal with it. And that doesn't justify what Pakistan did in courting these people and using them to their ends, such as taking the suicide bombers and the radicals that are willing to fight and sending them over to Kashmir and giving funding to the Taliban or Al Qaeda or whatever. I don't know if they ever directly funded Al Qaeda, but they had relationships with the Taliban because, again, Taliban was the governing body of a country that bordered them, whose, internal politics, it was better for Pakistan to have inroads with than to completely ignore. I apologize. Elton is losing his mind, and it is distracting the fuck out of me. What? You give me like 10 minutes to talk to the 10 people watching me, and then I will play with you. I promise. Anyway, there's so much that my brain is scrambled and I don't know where to go to first. The point is that we're going into this war in Iran, and I don't want to hear fucking Democrats Like, do the same shit. When these fucking crazy leftists talk about lib shit, that's what I'm talking about. When the real stance should be, we should not be doing any sort of intervention, period. God bless Kamala fucking Harris, who comes out and doesn't do any throat clearing like Newsom does. Kamala Harris just comes out and says, no one fucking wants this. Do not do it. The end. No, the Ayatollah was bad and all this shit. No fucking duh. Good job, Gavin. Great. Like, we don't need to fucking do that. We do not need to do this. It doesn't need to happen. And I do think we need to take stock of all the opportunities we had to make peace, to have an influence, and to see that government like a little more naturally moderated than what has happened. And for everyone to just throw the fucking baby out with the bathwater and say, fuck it, it's been too long, they're too far, let's just fucking go all in. No. So don't help fucking Trump. Don't help the administration by saying, it's good that the Ayatollah has gone. Very brave. It's one of two things when you say that. It's either fucking bait, because you know that the moment someone tries to push you on it, you can have your self-righteous little, oh, are you defending the Ayatollah? You can do that shit, or you're fucking ignorant. And it's one of the two, and neither are good, right? So don't hold water for the administration. Don't talk about how the Ayatollah is bad and it's good, he's gone, unless you have fucking thought through and are aware of what the consequences are going to be. So go read the fucking Afghanistan papers. Go read Ghost Wars. Go read Directorate S. Read a fucking book and see what the deeper details of this history is, because everyone has some stupid fucking layman, high level, like borderline grasp of what may or may not have happened. But like, again, when we talk about 9/11, right? Like, we didn't deserve 9/11 or any shit like that. But it is important to prevent future terrorist attacks to understand how they happen. And so this is where we circle back to today, the attack in Pakistan against a U.S. embassy. That didn't happen today just because it was going to happen. It happened because of our strikes in Iran. Does that make the people in that embassy fucking deserving of that attack? No. Does that make that attack preventable? Yes. And who is ultimately responsible for that? Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu. But why is there that fervor within Pakistan to react that way? That is where you have to go back to the history of the last Afghan war, the Afghan war before that, and the history of Pakistan. And then to understand why in the first place we're attacking fucking Iran, you have to go back to the 1950s and look at our history with Iran, with the first meddling in their government over oil, with the revolution that came after, and with every single fucking time since 2001, September 11th, that we failed to capitalize on an opportunity to normalize relations and potentially have a huge positive impact on that fucking country. There's a lot fucking to it. So when you just say, hey, it's good, the Ayatollah is fucking gone, it's like, congratulations. Yes, the Ayatollah was bad. It's good. He's gone in a fucking vacuum. Just like it's good that Saddam Hussein was fucking captured in a vacuum. But we destabilized the region. We created more terrorists than we ended up fucking killing. And even though we defeated ISIS after fucking years and years of war, created ISIS, by the way, we created ISIS. ISIS wasn't already fucking there. Once we do, AQI becomes fucking ISIS. We spend many, many years and many, many lives fucking killing them and getting rid of them. They're not fucking gone. They are still there. There are still cells that are operating, and eventually they are going to come back. And our interference in the Middle East has been a direct catalyst for an increase in radicalism and the spread of radical fundamental Islam. And everyone just wants to say, yeah, well, fuck them, we'll kill them all. I'm sorry, that's not the world I want to fucking live in. I would like a world where some smarter men and women are leading our countries and looking to diplomacy and learning from mistakes of the past rather than pushing us down another fucking war. And every single one of you motherfuckers who are supporting this action, which all out support for this action, not too many. I did see Mark fucking Kelly waffle on this shit. I saw a clip from him on CNN saying that he probably wouldn't vote yes on the fucking war powers thing. And then later in the day, maybe after enough pushback, he finally said yes. But like, what the fuck is that? I expect that from John Fetterman. John Fetterman's brain is fucking scrambled. He's fucking done gonzo, whatever, and he's going to support the stupidest fucking shit. And all the people out there that are like, oh, these soldiers, they gave their lives. They represent the best of America. Fuck you. Their deaths were avoidable, and they didn't have to fucking happen. They're the result of Donald Trump. And your breath should not be spent on stupid fucking Hasan or any of these other motherfuckers. It should be spent on Donald Trump doing this unnecessary action. And the Ayatollah being dead is good. Again, holding water for an administration that is starting a war that does not need to happen, that did not need to happen, that dissolved the fucking nuclear agreement that was done before. I just want people to grow a fucking brain. That's all I want. That's all I want. So I'm tired of this online politics space. I'm tired of the tribalistic games. I don't give a fuck. I genuinely care about the fascistic threat that we are under. I genuinely care about not starting additional wars that we don't need to get into. We want to find some righteous fucking cause to fucking defend. I am all for it, baby. I am so sad that if we do get into a larger war with Iran, I really can't gush over my darling F-35s and F-22s finally to get some real dogfight action in. One, I'll be sad because some F-14s are going to get shot down, and that's going to make my soul hurt. But two, it's going to be really just fucking like the fun parts that I could really enjoy from a good war, I'm not going to get to, right? So that's my selfish American perspective. But at the end of the day, what I care about more is the fact that innocent Iranians are going to fucking die. People that don't need to die are going to die. They already have died. Our people that don't need to die are going to die. We're going to further destabilize the fucking region. We are going to cause more issues. Syria just had their fucking little revolution and is a country that is going to still have to go through a lot of recovery. So now we're going to put this on top of that. So this is just going to become another fucking huge boiling point. And I don't even have the knowledge about the wider implications of, how this might drag other countries and actually cause World War III. Everyone's making World War III jokes. I made a World War III joke. I'm sure there are implications that greater than just further destabilization in the Middle East. But right now, on what I can focus on, what I can speak to, that is what concerns me the most. Is that we are going to see Iraq 2.0, and it's going to be just as bad, and no lessons are going to be learned. Back in Afghanistan, it took us 88 days to conquer Afghanistan and get to Kandahar. One issue I have is that there were those in the intelligence community and in the government that believed that, hey, there are enough people in the Taliban that are willing to split from Mullah Muhammad Omar, and we could capitalize on that and possibly break them up and, get those people away and have a peaceful resolution. And Bush and Cheney were just like, nah, fuck that. You've got 24 hours or go fuck yourself. Like those kind of stupid decisions, right? That bloodlust that we felt after 9/11, like that is the stuff that I don't want to fucking see repeated. I don't want to see people saying the same stupid shit about Saddam Hussein being gone is good, but yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the war. None of that, man. Be pissed off that the government lies to you. Be pissed off that we take actions that we don't need to, that people die that don't need to. And don't just be concerned about our people. Be concerned about their people. Because again, innocent Iranians have already died and more are going to die. We are going to install someone in that government that is favorable to us over favorable to the Iranian people. That's how we get a fucking Karzai in office, right? Some feckless fucking Karzai. Hey, here's another issue. Do you remember the war is going to get unpopular? That's the other thing. This isn't going to be a quick, fast, and in a hurry kind of war. The war will get unpopular. And when that happens, are we going to do an Obama 2.0 where Obama comes out and says, you have 2 years to fucking win this war, publicly says this, so the Taliban knows all they need to do is fucking bed down? Are we going to do that shit again? Like, there is nothing that I have seen, especially from this administration, that me just saying Donald Trump is the fucking president and, Pete Hegseth is the fucking SecDef for me to tell you guys, and Tulsi Gabbard is the head of the CIA. That should be the only thing I need to fucking say to anyone who is on the left and following this, to say any semblance of hope that you have that this is going to end well for the people of Iran should be fucking non-existent because of that. We're seeing 9/11 play out all over again. We've got Britain in support of this shit. What the fuck, right? Like, do we not remember how we called our fries freedom fries because the French were one of the few countries willing to stand up to us and say, hey, you guys are doing insane shit. Do not invade Iraq. I remember that. Like, I was one of those people that was like, yeah, fuck the French, surrender monkeys, all that shit. Like, do we have no shame? I get it. Look, it's been 23 years, almost to the fucking day, maybe, since Iraq. It's been 23 fucking years. Maybe that's a long enough time that hey, it's time for a new war. What was 9/11 after Vietnam? 26 years, right? So I guess we're around the time frame where we can go do another stupid fucking war that we don't need to start. Yes, I have a Discord. We messaged on Discord.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me? Let me check the levels.
Check, check, mic check, mic check.
Let me turn you up.
Oh, for some reason you're echoing.
Am I? Do you have my stream open?
Do I? Oh, yeah, I do. Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Are you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah. If folks in the chat, if Hutch isn't high enough, let me know. But I think you look good. You always look
Okay,
good.
give me literally 1 minute. I'm just gonna pee real quick. 1 second.
Not right now. No. His volume is incredibly low. He's maybe half your volume right now. All right, let me crank up the boy. We'll see when he gets back. I've cranked him up a bit. Might blow your ears out, so I apologize.
Okay.
All right, 1 second. All right, give me a mic check again. I turned you up. Some people said you were really low.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
All right, he sounds good to me, folks. Does he sound good to you? Are we good? All right, much better. All right, how you doing?
Tired the last couple days, and I don't really know why, but other than that, good.
Bueno. You been sleeping enough? Or is it just like fucking constant streaming?
I've been sleeping fine. I think I'm eating a bunch of sweets right before bed, and that might be fucking with my sleep.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so maybe that's what's happening. But
If I eat like shit before bed now, I don't. This is part of getting older. But if I eat like shit before bed, I'll feel hungover the next day.
oh yeah, that'll catch up with you the older you get for sure.
It's fucking annoying, man. Food hurts me harder than alcohol.
Well, thankfully I don't drink anymore, but I do just eat like absolute shit right before bed because I take this medication that makes me super fucking hungry.
Dude, same. And it yeah, I used to get the munchies and stand in the snack pantry and just like kind of work my way around it until I hated myself enough to leave. But that's how I discovered that Nutella and Oreos are an amazing combination. So what in particular brought you in here?
Well, you've hit me up a few times now, so you seem to have an issue with I don't even know if you have an issue with the particulars of what I say a lot of the times. It's more that you think that that my time would be better spent talking about different things. So, you know.
Yeah, it's man, I said this at the beginning of the stream because someone asked me asked me about this, and it's like when you started getting into politics, I was like, oh, here's a dude who's like earnestly involved. He's a liberal. He is like, there's a lot of sincerity to it, and I think there's a lack of sincerity to the degree to which you cover both Hasan and the right. And like I try to make this very clear. Like, I'm no fan of Hasan. People want to call me a leftist, whatever. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, I'm not, though. And so they're wasting their time barking up the wrong tree. I have my huge grievances with Hasan, but like I don't think the level of which he's covered is proportional to his impact. He's huge. He's big. There are a lot of people out there that watch him. But I also think that I think that I brought this up in one of our recent Twitter interactions, was that need these people's votes. We do. Maybe not Hasan himself, but we need his audience. We're not going to get those people to come out and vote. He is someone that could genuinely mobilize a lot of people to vote, and we're not going to fucking get that if it's just, team sports. That's not going to happen. So I have an issue with like the frequency of the coverage, because once it starts veering into disproportionate levels compared to what we're actually trying to achieve, then I think it's just all about show. And I've grown past that. I don't like that shit anymore. Like, I don't like the team sport games and all that crap. I care too much about what's going on, and I don't have the brain capacity to like really be tolerant of like that waste. So if people want to be entertainers, fine. But something I said earlier is that like if people do that, then I'm going to view you more as an entertainer than a serious political commentator. And to that end, I'm then going to feel more freedom to devalue certain comments, such as the USAID comments, when it's like, yeah, but we'll go spend another week, months after it happened, on the shot caller thing. So like, yeah, I do have a problem with the like degree to which you cover it, because you talk with such sincerity about things like the fascistic threat to the country, but then we'll go fucking just everything about Hasan. And it's like, they're much more important things. I brought up on the WIC panel that one time that I jumped in for a comment. I brought up that like, hey, people want to are pointing out like the violence, quote unquote, or the rioters, in the LA riots. And it's like, why the fuck are we putting any breath towards that when the United States president just, unilaterally sent in fucking National Guard troops to fucking go to these cities and shut down these protests? Like, why are we focusing on the few acts of violence and what's the term? Not sabotage, and vandalism and whatnot? Why are we in any way, shape, or form helping the Trump administration out by wasting our breath on the left on that shit, when at the end of the day, the important thing is that the president sent troops to quell protests? I think it's a waste of time, and it fucking helps them. Just like when fucking Stephen Miller comes out and he starts calling the left, commies, and then people on the left want to go, yeah, those commies right there. And it's like, no. Stephen Miller means all of you, right? So why even fucking give deference to that shit? All it does is help them. It's my issues with the like online politics commentary are multitudinal.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you had to guess yourself, like make the strongest possible argument that I would make as to why I spend time talking about those people and these things, like what would you come up with?
I mean, I was not being a smartass when I said I think at the end of the day, you've gone from like the serious political commentary route to the online pundit route, and now you are.
Well, I know that's your take. I understand that, but I'm asking you to put yourself in my shoes, and even if you don't believe it's true, like give me the steel man argument for.
If I were to steel man it, I would say that
coming up,
that you think that these people are that these people pose a threat to liberal democracy and to success against Donald Trump and those like Trump, and that you spend all of the time that you do on them because you think that is the that kind of pushback is going to have material benefits for the Democratic Party in the long run.
I mean, yeah, that's one way to put it, I suppose. But I like my politics right now at this point in my life are less about specific policies and more about just addressing the current situation as it is and doing a bit of triage and like figuring out, what is the biggest threat right now. And I've thought for a really long time that the Republican Party has just become so rotten and corrupt that we have to ruthlessly beat them in every election where that's possible. And so like my politics more succinctly in the current moment are just like, I hate Republicans and I want them to like lose elections. I think, would you agree that the alternative media space, especially after 2024, has definitely kind of veered into a new kind of importance in terms of like the national conversation, the zeitgeist?
I'd say I felt that way since 2020. I think the even if it's not as much as it was, but I think that started in 2020. So yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I think it started going way back even to like 2008. But I would say that in 2024 for me, and I don't really have like an empirical basis to make this claim. It's just more kind of vibes and just gut feeling. But it felt like 2024 was really the beginning of like a new official paradigm where alternative media, I think, is arguably more important than traditional media now. I thought that calls from people like Jank in 2016, back like 10 years ago, saying we've replaced mainstream media is like like I always thought that those were kind of cringe, and it's not like alternative media didn't matter, but it wasn't there yet. But I do think we have crossed that point where social media algorithms and political content creators probably have more sway on the public than like traditional channels like CNN
I think
and Fox News.
I don't disagree at all. I think hell, even if I talk to my mom, who is still an ardent Republican and someone who says she hates Trump, but yet will defend everything he fucking does, except the sidebar. Like yesterday, she called me and said I had my bridge too far moment. It was the AI weapons thing was her one moment. But either way, yeah, like she tells me like I don't watch Fox News, but I know where she's getting her shit from, and it was from Charlie Kirk and Facebook and all that stuff. Yeah. So no, I don't disagree, but something you said was, that you want to, you said something about triage. You were talking about the Republican Party being just this demonic fucking entity, which it is.
Yeah, I think it means that you can't really afford to be super picky when it comes to policy.
So then one I think big example of this is like, I did not understand you and IRI's pushback to Rashad, because Rashad, like from the get-go, from the beginning, you said, well, who is your champ? After he gave some heat for Newsom, he was like, okay, well, who's your champ? And he says fucking Kamala Harris. He doesn't say AOC or Bernie or anyone like that. He says Kamala fucking Harris, right? That is not like your super progressive or lefty even Democrat. And like his point that he was making was, okay, Trump bad has gotten us this far. And he gave deference to you guys and said, yes, these election wins are great. But he's saying that we have to think long term because one day Trump will be gone, hopefully, inshallah. And Trump is gone. Trumpism doesn't leave. The Republican Party isn't suddenly healed. We still have to deal with this threat. And if our messaging consistently relies on Trump bad, then...
Well, I mean, just to be clear, I reject that premise altogether. I don't think Democrats have been running on Trump bad. Like the most Trump bad election that I've seen was 2024 with Kamala. But even then, she did talk quite a bit about, things other than Trump. But, I don't think 2020 was a Trump bad election. I don't think 2018 was a Trump bad blue wave. That was an election that was focused on healthcare. 2020 was an election that was focused on
COVID,
instability and chaos from COVID, and like wanting a competent administration to help coordinate with the states to get the vaccine out. And
where was this that night? Because that night you and IRI just pushed back on him for having any sort of heat, where his ultimate point was, hey, I'm not seeing from Newsom the kind of heat we need for Republicans, and I'm also not seeing the messaging that says, hey, we are the Democratic Party. And he explicitly said this. He's like, I'm not seeing the messaging that says we are the Democratic Party. We are going to give you X, Y, and Z. This is why you should come and be a part of our party. This is why you should go out and vote. Like it was immediate
it's just
hostility to the fact that he was like, I don't think Newsom's the dude.
No. Hang on. I didn't say that. I don't think Newsom's the dude. That wasn't my problem with Rashad.
Then what was it? Because the whole thing about the Supreme Court didn't happen until an hour into that conversation. So it was like consistent pushback on him for saying, yeah, I don't like the way that he engaged with Ben Shapiro. I don't like what I'm seeing from him. I'm not seeing the kind of, and he brought up a worry, which is a worry that I have, is that whoever we end up nominating, like if they're the most palatable, someone who's going to get, enough people excited to vote, someone that can stand up to, Vance or whoever is the successor to Trump, my concern is that like they're going to come in and they're going to have no heat for undoing what's happened. And that's like a longer discussion, because it's like one of those, something I've been toying with is I don't know how we recover without violence, and I don't want violence, but I also don't want someone that just comes in and tries to pretend that shit didn't happen like we did in 2020 and then Trump never gets fucking prosecuted.
I mean, to be clear, I mean, Biden did that. Biden got really aggressive early on in his administration. He reversed most or like most, yeah, the vast majority of Trump's executive orders were reversed in the first like 2 months.
That's fine. I'm talking about those who like, but the real attacks on the Constitution, like the people responsible for them. Like, I want to see
Well,
fucking heads roll for a lot of the shit that's happened, metaphorically, of course.
well, I feel like we're veering away from the point. Like my issue with Rashad was that he started to veer into territory that I just find to be kind of cringe and larpy and just very
It didn't get
vague
to
and
that though until
generalized.
like let's hold off before that because we can go into that. But like that didn't happen for like an hour or so into the conversation. It was immediate. Like we can pull it up. And within the first 5 minutes of him saying he doesn't like Newsom, like the response to it is as if he was some lefty being crazy.
Hang on. Oh, but wait, hang on. Was my pushback you shouldn't criticize Newsom, or did I have an issue with his specific pushback?
It was his specific pushback, but the read to me is like that there is no pushback that's tolerable to Newsom. I saw no deference from you or IRI to like any of his criticism.
Well, I mean, we'd have to address each criticism one by one, right? Like, I don't even which criticism do you think that I wasn't giving enough deference to, or giving enough good faith to, or?
So when he says that the party, or sorry, he gives his pushback about he says like him being buddy with Shapiro about the violence stuff, and that kind of like engagement makes him uncomfortable and doesn't make him feel that he's going to see the right kind of gumption from him if he were to take office, or if he were to go toe to toe with the Vance, that he's not going to have the right heat for these people, or that he's courting the wrong ideas.
My whole point, Lycan, is that I think it is childish, juvenile, really myopic to like judge a politician based on podcast appearances over like what they've done throughout the totality of their career and what they've done more recently in the last 6 years as governor of California. Like he has
someone who's
a very extensive track record of going to bat for trans people in the state in ways that go way beyond every other state.
And he never undermined that on that appearance. And someone who is able to be governor isn't necessarily able to be the especially, here's the thing, like he's also governor in a blue state, right? Like a very hardcore blue state. And so his ability to push these policies and to go toe to toe with the Republicans that he has to deal with in his region, it's completely different than like the national stage and getting people that.
No, I understand. Like I agree. He is not. I would pick 3 other candidates, 4, maybe 5 other candidates before I picked him to be the nominee, because I agree. Like number one, I don't know if he has enough broad appeal to win a national race like the presidency. And number 2, I don't know if he hasn't shown to me yet that he is capable of forging the kind of consensus that you need to get major bills done. So I have my concerns about Newsom too. That's not the issue. The issue is the specific criticisms that he was making. I thought were kind of silly. And like the idea that Newsom, the idea that Newsom has abandoned trans people, or is signaling that he would abandon trans people, is fucking preposterous. It is actually preposterous.
Did he say that?
So stupid. To be honest with you, bro, I don't even remember what the fuck.
Because I was listening, like, contrary to what people think, I'm very fucking good faith, and so I like, one of the things I walked back, because when I first listened to this, I was on Rashad's side completely, and I was like, yeah, Newsom playing footsie with fucking Shapiro, I don't like that. But then I listened again when I reacted on stream, and you or IRI brought up that, like, or maybe it was Soypill, brought up that he had pushback on other areas, and I was like, you know what? There's nothing wrong with building a rapport and talking about violence or whatever the fuck it was to get your, ideological opponent into a position where they're going to be more amenable to engaging with you. I had no problem with that. So I'm willing to walk that shit back. But then I go watch a few other clips and I'm like, man, I don't know. I think Newsom may have flubbed some areas when it comes to this. So I am fully.
But so do I, though. I mean, but again, I feel the same way. Like, I didn't like a couple of his responses, but when you listen to the entire podcast, it is clear that he is like pushing back like 99% of the time.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, if Rashad implied in any way that Newsom would abandon, trans people. Until I see something that would make me agree with that, no. I know 14 different bills he has passed that have been beneficial to trans people in the state of California. No, fuck yeah, I'm all for that. But I didn't hear anything that made me think that was his criticism. Like I was listening for what his criticism was that made everyone so fucking hostile towards him, and it didn't get to the Supreme Court shit again until like an hour and a half in.
Again, I would have to go back and listen to that podcast because I don't remember what kicked it off.
I'd be down for that, and I've got time, so I'll listen to it again, and I'll come to you. I'll ping you, and we can chat again.
Well, now I'm curious. Hold on. Now I want to look it up here. I'm just going to do a transcript and look up Newsom and see what the first source of contention was here. 20 minutes. Democrats, I'm seeing like Newsom interviewing Ben Shapiro, and he's like, so tell me about when you learned how to play the violin. Like, what was that? Like, you're asking him about playing the violin after 10 years of building up Trump. That's your question. So his initial, and even reading this, I can like find myself going back to being annoyed. Why do you think, I'm just curious, like, why do you think Newsom has done a podcast where he's been civil with extremely far right individuals? Like,
well, I already said I think that being civil is the best way to actually get them to engage. If you're not civil, then they're immediately going to shut down, and it's going to be combative in a way that's not going to move anything forward. If your goal is to ultimately find a way to connect with their audience, because I don't think anyone believes they're going to fucking ship Ben Shapiro from the right. You're ultimately trying to target their audience. Would you agree with that?
I think I don't know if Newsom's trying to target Ben Shapiro's audience. I think that Newsom is looking at all the polls that we all can see that show the electorate think that the Democratic Party are weird and scoldy, and they virtue signal too much, and they do too much purity testing, and they're too quick to condemn people rather than just kind of treat them with respect. And I think he's well aware that the electorate feels that way about the Democratic Party, and I think that a strategy of not being belligerent in a conversation is probably smart politically right now, and I think that's why he's doing it. I think he's addressing that specific problem with the Democratic Party.
I am totally for that, like the whole woke scold shit and all that stuff. Like I am all for like reeling that back in. Hell, there are probably some areas where the woke politics I'm okay with, like, hey, let's maybe fucking ensure that this fascistic threat is gone and get these people like as far away from, like, the anti-trans stuff got so intense that it started to like backtrack us as a country on like gay rights issues, right? So I am all for like some semblance of moderation as long as we're not like losing sight of the major issues. But again, like when I listened to this conversation, I didn't find anything like super objectionable from Rashad. And in fact, I was like, eventually he was starting to be treated by like a leftist, and I'm like, man, this guy is clearly a fucking liberal. Like, unless there's something else out there I haven't seen of his, like this dude is like, I don't know a fucking leftist that is that adamantly like Kamala's my girl. I don't know a single one.
Again, I'd have to go back and review the conversation, but like the way that he kicked it off talking about Newsom, I mean, I had disagreements with him, but I don't remember it getting like hostile or anything. I mean, I don't even feel like
it wasn't even like a during that hostile like screaming shouting match. It was like that there was like as if this guy was, the pushback was so consistent as if this guy was making some insane claims, and he's like his
he was, to be clear.
Before we get to the Supreme Court stuff, like his point, this was the back and forth for like 30 straight minutes. He is saying again and again, Trump bad ain't enough. It's got to be something more substantive. It's got to be about what we're going to do for the people, and it's got to be about addressing the threat. And like here's one thing I objected to that you said. You're so adamant about the Republican Party crumbling, and I don't know what makes you think that the Republican Party is crumbling to the point that we are going to be A-okay. And this guy is saying, like, be happy to see the devastation to the Republican Party. Be happy about our electoral wins, but also be prepared, because we remember January 6th happened. You remember all those people that backed away from fucking Trump and MAGA and all that shit. And then after enough time, the Republicans realized, hey, like, the Republicans, not just MAGA, the Republicans realized, hey, all we need to do is circle the wagons, make the phalanx, and we're fine. We can stand against anything. And we we showed them that in fucking 2024. That like the man who was responsible for January 6th, all the people who said fuck Trump for January 6th were right there back at him because he was their boy and he was getting into the fucking office. That's what they wanted. That's what they cared about. And that Republican Party is going to exist even when Trump is gone.
Again, I told you that I reject a premise to begin with. I don't think that Democrats have been in the era of Trump running solely on Trump bad. And I have my own criticisms of the Democratic Party.
Do you not remember that being part of our discourse? Like us as liberal Democrats, like that was part of our discourse for like 4 years was we cannot focus on Trump bad and we relied too much on that. We've got to rely on more than that.
Listen, I don't remember ever saying stuff like this. I mean, of course I believe this, but I don't think the Democrats are doing this. How are the Democrats doing this? What do you mean? Like when I break down like the individual races and I look at the Democrats that are, winning seats in New York City and Virginia and New Jersey. And in 2022, we had like really crucial Senate seat races all over the country. None of them were running on like Trump bad. They were all running on like policy platforms. They were contrasting themselves with kind of like the chaos that comes out of the Republican Party. But I think the Democrats already know that just like running around doing Trump bad is not good strategy, which is why they don't do that.
Right. But he's talking about we're talking about this fascistic threat. And that is becoming more and more part of the platform discussions that we're having. And he's saying that we can't just talk about that fascistic threat as if it's just Trump. We have to talk about that as it's the Republican Party, and that
we can talk about that with. We do though. I mean, I just don't understand.
We have those conversations, but our politicians aren't. Our politicians aren't out there having the conversation that hey, you're Republican by name. I will call them out by name. This Republican right here, this person is supporting this policy, and this policy that is antithetical to the American ideal.
You don't see that happening. You don't see, press conferences happening every day from major Democrats that are calling out Republicans by name. It happens every day, literally every day. If you go on C-SPAN's, VOD list from last week, that's all they're doing. That's all they've been doing. They're the Democratic Party right now they're purely on offense right now. It's just every day they wake up and that's what opposition parties are supposed to do. You're supposed to wake up every day and then find a new weakness to exploit.
Why did we confirm? Why wasn't it a 51 to 49 for every single? Or what? I guess if Vance had to do it, I can't remember what the Senate makeup was at the time of the confirmations. Why did so many of them get through without it having to come down to JD Vance's vote?
Well, listen, because a lot of these senators are serving in states that Donald Trump won by, and they have a totally different.
Yeah,
well, no, of course,
inexcusable. Tulsi fucking Gabbard and
these are their constituents are majority Trump voters, so they're going to probably make decisions that aren't going to be the same as AOC
Democrats.
Or Rashida. Well, what do you mean inexcusable? This is democracy, bro. What are you asking about?
No, the whole reason for representative democracy is that we're saying, hey, we're going to vote you into office because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to have all the aids and all the assistance and all the information, and you're going to be the ones that are making the best decisions. Otherwise, we have to for a lot of issues, we just dissolve them and we just have national elections.
Well,
where I think it's vote, one person, one vote. And so every fucking issue, every law, every bill, the majority of them go to the fucking people to vote for. Because otherwise, I expect when it comes to these confirmation hearings, I don't expect the fucking Democrats to put fucking Marco Rubio and Tulsi Gabbard into fucking office.
Yeah, because I think you're looking at it from the perspective of somebody that, where do you live in Florida?
I do.
Okay, so you live in a red state.
I do. I have a fucking congresswoman that's probably getting sick of hearing from me.
I think that you're looking at it in terms of a strict binary. The Democratic Party is this perfect monolithic structure, and as a hive mind, we should all be unified on this, and this.
But that's not the fascistic threat that we're facing. Yes, I do expect that monolithic view. Yes,
you're not going to. You're not going to. Wait, hold on. You're not going to be able to effectively fight that fascistic threat if you don't win elections. And obviously, I think that the blue senators that are serving in states that Trump won and blue representatives that are serving in districts that Trump won, they have a totally different constituency, bro. So if they're taking those votes, it's probably because a decent part of that constituency doesn't want
You would never
the
accept
Democratic
this.
Party.
You would never accept this if fucking some leftist was making some similar analog. At the end of the day, is
What do
the
you mean?
is the
Wait.
fascistic threat not the ultimate threat to our democracy?
Well,
If
what do
it
you
is,
mean?
then
Like,
why
what-
install the people that the man who is the architect or whose people he ends up hiring are the architects of Project 2025? Why should we ever tolerate a vote that helps further that agenda?
Are you
The Lake
you
and
aware
Riley
of the
Act, like the
fact-
people that voted for the Lake and fucking Riley Act that enabled all this ICE shit that's going on. Like, do you not have heat
Yeah,
for the
like,
fucking Democrats
wait, like,
regardless of
all
what
of
their
the-
makeup of their district is?
Not really. No,
I do.
don't. Because
Okay, that's where you and I differ.
Why?
I think
You're getting mad about someone else's constituency. You don't live in those states. You don't live in those districts,
their
bro.
decisions ultimately affect the fucking union. Do they not?
Yeah, of course they do, but bro, I don't think that like slightly delaying Marco Rubio's confirmation is going to do much to stop fascism.
Fucking yeah, you know what it does? Like when the first fucking State of the Union from Donald Trump happens and Joe Green is the only fucking dude willing to say fuck you and walk out and get kicked out.
Al Green?
Al Green, whatever his name is. The fucking Democrats that voted to
Is it Joe
fucking
Green?
censure
Might be Joe
him.
Green.
I can't remember. Hold on. Now I got to know because I always call him Joe Green, but Al Green. You're right. Al Green. Fucking Al Green like gets fucking censured and Democrats vote for that. Where's the constituent requirement for that?
Again, any politician that is serving in the Congress is accountable to their voters. And so if they're taking votes and they want to keep those jobs and not be like a one-term senator or one-term representative, I assume it's because they are serving a district or a state that, you know, want kind of more bipartisanship stuff.
Okay.
Like, do you understand that that's a huge chunk of the country? Like a huge chunk of the country. In fact, the vast
Wait.
majority of the
Pause 1
country,
second.
bro.
1 second.
No, you
No,
pause.
no,
Let me finish my point.
no.
Let me finish my point, bro.
No, hold that because I'm going to need you to repeat it in a second. So I'm saying pause right there. Hold on. I need you to repeat what you just said. I can't keep talking. I need a drink. Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
So I want you to repeat it. I'm not trying to dodge it. We're going to get right back
All
to
right,
it.
I'm gonna fill my thing of water too.
Okay. I'll be right back. All right. I'm back.
Yo.
All right. Go ahead and repeat. Sorry. I apologize. My throat was killing me.
I think the point that I'm getting at is one of the things that is, I think, safeguarding this country against a full-on fascistic slide is the fact that we have these really strong Democratic Party candidates that are winning in like red districts and states. Like there's a not insignificant number of people in this country who voted for Trump at the top of the ticket, but also voted for people like Ruben Gallego in Arizona and Mark Kelly in Arizona. And there's like 12, Democrats that you probably, whose voting records you probably loathe. That beat the Republican in that contest in a race where Trump was on the top of the ticket. And so I think, listen, if you think that these senators and representatives are betraying the republic and enabling fascism and not doing enough to stave off the threat of fascism, we have a democratic remedy for this. You can run primaries against them. You can take your shot and try to replace them. But a lot of these senators are really popular. It's moderate, more quote unquote moderate senators and representatives that are preventing the Republican majorities from being much bigger. And
I'm happy that those people exist, and I'm happy that they have D's next to their name. But I expect their voting record to be in concert with the ideals of the Democratic Party. And at this point in time, the Democratic Party is the only one that can stand on 10 toes and say, hey, we support democracy, we support the Constitution, we support the longevity of the American experiment. The Republicans cannot. But why would I not be within my right to judge those who take any action, whether or not their constituents want it, that goes against that? Because you have this huge,
mad about it, but that's not your senator, and that's not your representative.
You have this huge amount of heat for people who do not want to vote for certain Democrats. I don't know how these two positions can exist at the same time. You're like, hey, you know what? They support a constituency,
those Democrats don't offend me the way that those Democrats don't offend me in the same way that they offend you. I recognize that me in a state like California, especially in the Los Angeles County, I live in a constituency that is wildly different from like the median town in fucking Arizona or, Texas or, North Carolina. And so if I see a senator that takes a vote that I don't like it bothers me sometimes, but I don't, I'm not this guy that's over here saying we need to primary them after every vote that I don't like.
I don't say that they need to be primaried after every vote, but there are certain votes that, I think, you know what? This is like, hey, you've done your time. And if it comes down to it and it's in my district and at the end of the day they don't get primaried, I'm still going to vote for the motherfuckers. Because at the end of the day, it's better to have them in office than a Republican, right? I don't fucking agree with that whatsoever. But I am going to say until that fucking day comes, you're a piece of shit and you shouldn't have fucking voted to confirm these people. But again,
really, bro, this is like such a guy. Like they are the minority party in the Senate. They can't stop these confirmations from happening.
I don't care if they can't stop. That's the thing. Is like I feel helpless as a Democrat, and I feel for my party because the Democratic Party does not have the power to just go ahead and they don't have a majority that they can go ahead and use against the president. They can't, right? I understand that. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to see shows of force. So I would have like everyone sitting down, like, fuck Elizabeth Warren for standing up for Trump. Like, fuck that shit, right? Does it mean I want her to be primaried? No. Am I fucking annoyed? Yes. Did she stand up for something that was genuinely good for the people? Yes. So when she looked at that fucking person who was clearly giving her the stink eye for standing up and she shrugs and says, sorry, it's good, and keeps clapping, do I fucking get it? Yes. Do I think it was bad to break solidarity? Also yes. Do I think that those, in a time when we are in unprecedented... Hold on, wait. When we do not have the power to make explicit actions and use our majorities to fucking, usurp the will of the dictator to be, yeah, I fucking understand that we can't do that. That's why those little shows of resistance are important. So yeah, seeing 51-50 down the fucking ballot on these fucking confirmations would have been a really great thing to see. And it would be motivating to the people. But it doesn't do that when they just fucking go ahead and they're like, well, fuck it. Or, hey, I know Marco. We used to play fucking golf. He's going to be fine. He's not going to be, he's one of the more establishment Republicans that have existed for all these years. He's not going to, do all the crazy shit. No, man, this motherfucker's going to try to invade Cuba one day. So, yeah, I'm going to be upset when that does happen. We do take military action against Cuba. I'm going to be really fucking upset at every single Democrat that voted to confirm him.
I frankly think this is such a waste of
It's not even where I spend most of my time and energy, but it's something that, like, as we've come to it, it's like, yeah, I'm upset. The same way that but what doesn't make sense to me is how you can hold this position, but then someone says, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't vote for fucking Kamala because she has shown no sign that she's going to lead the Democratic Party in a direction that is not going to continue funding, what's happening in Gaza. And you want to bring up the USAID shit and the 14 million deaths. And guess what? I've actually worked with fucking USAID. I totally fucking agree. I've had coffee from the beans from some dude who fucking grows his own goddamn coffee beans. And he was over there in Afghanistan with me. Like, I love those fucking people. I love the exercise of soft power. I am fucking furious at what Trump has done to dismantle USAID. But at the end of the fucking day, like, I do get why someone could see the bloodshed happening in Gaza, to see the people that are supporting it or unwilling to condemn it.
Really?
And to have a more, hold on, let's be really clear, because this is something that another issue that I've had is like that you can't even empathetically understand, even if you're like, yeah, but, because you and me, or me at least, I'm a yeah, but guy. I'm a yeah, but fucking Democrats are going to be better. The idea that Donald Trump would have been in any way, shape, or form fucking better on Gaza than fucking Kamala is absolutely insane. And every dumb fuck, including Hasan and everyone else who used their platforms and didn't just righteously rage and say, you've got to vote Dem. I don't give a fuck. You've got to vote Dem. It's going to be better for Gaza. It's going to be better for this country. They're fucking wrong. So can we, before I move on to finish my point, you grasp that I am a vote blue no matter who kind of guy?
I don't have any reason to doubt your sincerity there.
Then I, at the very least, can look at someone who says, yeah, I have a problem with all these people fucking dying, and my congressman fucking voted to support and send more aid to them. I can't fucking vote for them. Like, I see no fucking empathy for that position. I just see treating them as if they are Republicans themselves, and that doesn't map onto that.
I have
never
empathy
expressed it
for,
unless I've missed the clip.
I mean, you gotta
never
let
seen
me
you
talk.
express that.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No. I have empathy for like the feelings, like the emotions that people feel. I have empathy for your feeling of powerlessness and like anger. Of course I empathize with. I deeply empathize with, like, if you're a young person in this country and Gaza is your number one issue, and you had red lines along that kind of thing. I fucking intensely empathize with that because I went through the same thing when I was their age. Literally. I was the same thing. Like, when the war in Iraq kicked off, I was like 19 years old or 20 years old. I can't remember exactly how old I was.
Damn, you're older than I am. I thought we were the same age.
No. And I thought about that conflict every fucking day. Obsessively. And this was before social media. So, I was in college at the time, and, maybe I talked to some people at my school about it, but I wasn't like, I didn't have this online kind of boiling cauldron of rage. But I was furious every fucking day thinking about what we were doing. And, when 2004 came along, I thought for sure Bush was going to lose, because by that point, it had been clear that there wasn't any WMD in Iraq, and the thing was starting to become a bit of a quagmire. A lot of American soldiers were dying, and he won re-election, and I became completely disillusioned with politics. And so I do understand very, like, it's not the same, right? But I do understand that feeling. What I don't understand is why you think it's inappropriate for me to spend time, or the amount of time that I spend, criticizing the people that I think are obfuscating the truth, oftentimes just like lying, and feeding into this apathy.
I can answer that
explicitly. With these constant obfuscations and falsehoods, and
I can answer that.
And appeals to tribalism over pragmatism.
I can answer that, because the word you just used, tribalism over pragmatism, I do not see you in any way, shape, or form trying to build a bridge. And if you want to tell me that you've just given up hope, then I'd say
with Hasan,
with just their audiences, like these people. Like, if you want to, like, the idea that you can't try to reach these people. That is what I have a huge issue with.
No, that's not true, though. I did.
Did is past tense. There's still a fucking other two elections coming up that are the most important.
I did for years. I did for years.
And
like literally
wait,
years.
and I didn't. Like, that's the thing is, I came from the like anti-lefty fucking like 2019 to 2000, whenever the fuck I stopped doing streaming. Like, my fucking feed was all full of this shit. Like, it was rage against everyone from Hasan to Mike from PA to the Surfs and all that stuff. Like, and now I've just realized, like, for these people are way more close to our views than Republicans. And at the end of the day, like, the people is in the broader lefty fucking space. But yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll fucking say it. I think Hasan is closer to us than fucking Republicans. Absolutely. I do not.
I don't think that's true.
But I don't want to get. I don't. We can have that debate another time. Like, my point is, I believe that Hasan is, but more importantly, his audience is more likely to be amenable to voting Democrat than the Republicans are.
Well, I mean, listen, I think that might be true. But
I want to see
not really
coalition
point,
building.
though.
I want to see relationship building. I want to see outreach.
Why,
And if you want to have debate,
if this is really about effective coalition building, why aren't you just as angry as I am when these people constantly?
I am, but I don't obsess over it. I fucking tweet about it and I get it out of my system, and that's it.
We're talking
'Cause there's
about
more shit to focus on.
Lycan, we are talking about people with a collective audience pool of probably like millions and millions and millions of people that probably skew a little bit younger in the United States. And these are people that constantly, every fucking day, like lie to their audience about like Democratic Party candidates. Like, doesn't it bother you when like Kyle Kalinske and Hasan Piker and the I've Had It lady and I've like 5 other gigantic leftist influencers make the claim that Gavin Newsom vetoed single payer in California?
Yeah,
don't you think that?
Yeah, I get upset. But what I'm not
destructive?
seeing is thoughtful commentary and correcting the record. What I am seeing is lefty derangement syndrome.
Talking about? Wait,
I see these
I
fucking.
call this stuff out so specifically, bro. I call this stuff out so specifically every day.
I have never
Every day.
You can point me to a clip. You can tell your audience to point me to a clip. I have never seen a clip that makes me feel like, hey, we are trying to correct the record and build inroads with these people that we do need their votes. I've never seen that from you or any of these other people that fucking go consistently after this group. I've never seen that kind of thoughtful, pragmatic commentary.
Why do you have so much smoke for me when I'm pointing out their lies and obfuscation?
I'll answer that. And that's on a more personal level. It's because, again, like, I saw you as this like pragmatic, in here for the right reasons kind of commentator. And now the commentary I see is like over indexing for these people in a way that is not helpful at all. And it goes back to, I'll use that debate again. The heat you had for the fucking the agitative protesters in LA was greater than the heat you had for the US government, to the point that, yes, I think that anything more than just, hey, we really need to stop this, one tweet, done with it, the end. But like the debate panels and the tweets and all that shit, it's like, fuck it, man. At the end of the day, the thing that really matters in this moment is the fact that Donald Trump sent troops into a US city to fucking quell protest. That is what the biggest issue is, and there should be no question of whether or not that should be the primary focus.
I get frustrated because you have these enormous protests that are organized by liberal groups that are not like radicals, and they'll explicitly advertise these protests as nonviolent. And I see it happen over and over. I watched it happen with my own eyes at No Kings, where the vast majority of people at No Kings were joyous, handing out fucking like hand lotion and suntan lotion and water bottles. People are playing music. It's like one of those kind of vibes. And like clockwork, every fucking time you have this other element that show up and try to co-opt that explicitly non-violent protest and turn it into a physical confrontation with cops. Like, I saw it with my own eyes. I was standing literally feet away from a group of people who were very clearly like a different kind of like element from the main No Kings like protesters. These kids were young, they were angry, they showed up to where like federal military presence was. I watched them start throwing shit at the fucking cops. Like I watched them literally initiate violence.
Yeah, but I don't like doing that. I don't like seeing that. I
that
don't
on your
engage
own
in that.
time.
That's fine. But I still
don't
don't
do that
have
at
the
a
heat for them
protest.
that I do for the government. At the end of the day, I do not have the heat for them as I do for the government.
Bro, I showed up to a No Kings protest to demonstrate and experience solidarity with other people in my area that were disgusted by this administration. That was the whole point.
I know,
of me
but what I'm
going to the
saying is like
protest.
those people showing up and agitating and all that stuff. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna go fucking home. If I was a goddamn journalist, I wouldn't go home and write about them. I would still write about the fact that the United States government sent troops in to quell a protest.
I talked about that every day on my
You did,
stream.
but
I
you
don't know
spent
what to
so much
tell
time
you.
talking about the fucking lefties.
What you seem to think that like so should I never talk about them, or I shouldn't talk about them as much as I do?
As much as you do. Like you want to fucking call something out that is false, fine. If you show me that not that you owe me anything, okay, so let's take it out. I don't have that big of an ego, but like as far as what's upsetting me, I want to see like a greater fucking heat for the bigger issue than the lefties. But what I see
You already
is
have so many creators that do that.
Yeah, but they're right, and we need more of that. We don't need anyone focusing on these lefties.
What do you mean we need more of that?
So hold on, that's the thing. That's where it gets back to like at the end of the day is if this is just because it helps. And look, like I get it. This is a flippant thing that I can't say. I'd have to mute the stream right now. Hold on, actually, I'm gonna mute. 1 second, guys. Are you streaming right now?
No.
Okay, I'm muting so this is sincere.
But I agree, which is why I think more people should be talking about this. I don't think there's enough people talking about this. I think that their impact on the discourse is corrosive and toxic, and I think it depresses turnout. I think it depresses voter turnout.
I agree with. There's no disagreement from that with me either. Like I think at the end of the day, these people do not like the leftists and all that stuff. Like there's too much heat for the Dems. But another thing that I have an issue with is that a lot of that becomes thought terminating. Like, do you know how many times, like, I'm pretty decently versed in, like, our Middle Eastern policy and, like, our intelligence communities, like, history. And so anytime that I have any criticism that is substantively based on, like, actual history and rooted in fact, like, you know how many times I fucking hear America bad, that's all Lycan cares about is America bad? Like, when I'm... any one of these fucking leftists would consider me a CIA shill. It's fucking infuriating, and it's thought terminating, and I hate seeing that shit come from the party that's supposed to be the more intellectually honest and educated.
If you agree that that's a problem, then why would you disagree that somebody needs to point this out and talk about it?
Because it needs to be done pragmatically, and that's what I don't see. I see points
what does that
I don't
mean?
see. Pragmatically means, again, in a way that's going to, like, kind of try to build a coalition that is going to try to reach these people and change their minds and not just use them as content fodder.
There is no changing their minds, my friend. I
then
do
why
engage
focus on
directly
them
with these people
at all?
You just said it was a problem that depresses voter turnout.
It is a problem that depresses voter turnout. But if you can't change their
so
minds,
I
then
agree.
focus on the people that need to be motivated to go out and vote and already care. But if their audience can't be reached, then don't talk about them.
I think I am.
I don't think that
one
shitting on
of the best
Hasan makes
things.
people want to go vote. I think that talking about Donald Trump
I can't even
and the
tell.
policies of the Republican Party, that's
Listen,
going to
I
do
can't
it.
even tell you. I can't. First of all, I do talk about Donald Trump all the fucking time. And second of all, I can't even tell you how many people that are regulars in my audience and people that send me emails to tell me, like, hey, I want to thank you for, pulling me out of that. Like, I get constant emails about this. I get constant people typing in my chat about this thing. And so I can't process the idea that you agree that the way that they cover politics depresses turnout, but you disagree with the way that I cover it. And, like, if it's about proportionality, like, well, you need to do like 70% Trump and 30% this, I just reject that outright, because there are going to be some creators that are more in their element and more effective focusing on a particular thing. Like Josiah focuses basically 100% of his efforts on Trump and Republicans and these kinds of things. And I think that's, like, super useful. And I think that helps to inform people about what's going on and maybe motivate them to vote. Same thing with, like, Brian Tyler Cohen or David Pakman or, a lot of other, like, more kind of center left liberal channels. That's their niche. That's where they've found the most success. That's the thing that they want to talk about the most.
Help convince me. What do you think your focus on them is doing for our cause?
Well, the hope is to offer a counter narrative, one that is actually rooted in honesty and the truth, and to pull people out of that space. I think the space that Hasan occupies, and it's not just him, it's like a whole ecosystem of creators. And there's another element too here where he has, like, a literal cult of personality going on over there. And so he has, like, a series of, like, incentives and disincentives to defend him, to repeat the stuff that he says. But the problem is so much bigger than him.
Do you think that you'll reach those people, though, by just dunking on their figurehead? Like,
I mean, I do.
Say,
I'm telling you I do. I'm telling you that I do.
I believe you do. I totally believe you do. But I assume that your email does not account for even 1% of the size of Hasan's reach, right?
I mean, what logic is this?
Well, I'm going to get to that. I'm just saying,
logic. I don't know if it's realistic that I'm going to take, like, 10% of his audience or 50%.
Right, but if you are reaching people now, do you think you would reach more people if you did it in a way that actually didn't make them feel like you're just completely adversarial?
I am matching their energy, to be clear.
That's fine. Matching the energy is an excuse often used to do stupid, bad shit. So what I'm saying is, do you think that if you were better as far as the way that you approach it was more pragmatic and it was less hostile, do you think that you would reach more people? If that is your ultimate goal and what you think the value is and what you're doing, do you think you would reach more people if you changed your approach in a way that didn't make them look at you immediately as an adversary to be ignored?
I think this is decidedly not the case. I think that, especially with the things that do best on social media and the internet, it's way more conflict driven than, killing them with kindness. I think, like, you're maybe looking for, like, a good example of a tactic that maybe you're pushing for here is, I don't know if you saw the debate that Adam Mockler had with Hasan.
Yeah, I saw a decent amount of it.
maybe you're pushing for that kind of strategy. Listen, I like Mockler a lot, and I found myself to like very disappointed with that debate at many times. I thought like he was strong in some cases, but he was just so eager to concede. Like he was conceding things that he should not have been conceding, and he was doing it for the sake of like being cordial and not having the conversation become too adversarial, and then it just becomes like counterproductive in his mind. But in doing that, he was way too conciliatory, I think.
I think I can agree with
that conversation.
I can agree with that. There were some things I wouldn't have conceded, but overall I liked his approach, and overall I think his audience probably, even if there were, I don't care what the fucking chat says. I fucking hate chat says. It's just like Twitter says articles. It's meaningless and bullshit. At the end of the day, like there are people that were watching that may not have chatted, that may not have commented, that may be lurkers, that were way more amenable to what Mockler's points were than otherwise would have if Mockler had just come in and been like, you know, fuck you, you're a fucking dipshit.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so like Mockler, like for even the things that I think he shouldn't have conceded, at the end of the day, I think he did well. And I think that he's going to reach a lot more people in that audience than he would have. We're not going to see immediate reactions. We're not going to see like a litany of people going to Twitter saying, you know what, Mockler, you changed my mind. People still have egos. People don't want to admit that they're wrong or their figurehead is wrong. But through that activity and more people that operate that way, we're going to get more of those folks.
Let me ask you something. Like when you see Hasan have those kind of interactions with libs and go into those spaces, do you treat him in good faith? Like do you think he is showing up to those conversations in good faith?
I do not think Hasan is like some revolutionary dude who's secretly trying to get us into a point of what do you call it? It's not secret though. He's not secretive about it. What I mean is like he's acting in those conversations in way calmer a fashion towards a liberal than a lot of the streams. That's your point, right?
I'm saying.
And you said, do I think he's acting in good faith when he does that?
I mean, like presenting himself honestly and engaging in those spaces honestly.
Yeah, I do.
No, absolutely not. I don't know why you would think that. That's insane to me.
Because I think
he's very, 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 very open about what he's trying to do. Have you ever listened to his appearance on, like he went on a podcast called Deprogram? And
that's the one where with the whole thing about the education camps. I did, and then I watched the entire thing around that segment, and it was not as bad as everyone kept saying it was.
Wait, what? Okay, well.
And someone is not fucking defending education camps, but yeah, if you just say education camps,
that was the conversation with,
in that fucking conversation. Okay, that's not the one, but that's one you brought up before, is it not?
That's a conversation with Ethan. I'm talking about a conversation he had when this is not the only clip of him.
The Deprogram podcast. It's
I don't know where they were talking about re-education though.
On YouTube, and there's like it's like a cartoon like overlay, like animated, kind of like Chapo Trap House does. Yeah. Like I listened to that, and he talks about it, and he even says like, you know, I know people like they hear, you know, re-education and they think like re-education camps, and that's not what I'm talking about. Like
that was the one on that was Ethan. That was a conversation he had with Ethan.
Well,
he said that.
I had to.
The one on the Deprogram podcast, they had a whole conversation about the process of like the intentional process of trying to radicalize people. So they have like a conversation for about 10 minutes where they talk about their radicalization, and they're talking about radicalization as a essential part of someone's like political evolution. They're saying like the radicalization against like Western imperialism and capitalism is basically what they're going with. And the host of the podcast kind of tease up Hasan, and even though the host and the other guy's second thought, they're much more kind of directly confrontational, kind of explicitly radical. Hasan drew a contrast with them by talking about his approach to radicalizing people as like introducing them via policies that are, you could call like social democratic. But he talks about social democratic policies as though they're bad things. Like he talks about social democracy in a bad kind of way. But the point is to like hook them with, you know, like, hey, we want to give you free healthcare and we want to give you like paid family leave and this kind of things. And then once you have them hooked, you radicalize them further into an explicitly illiberal ideology. Like he is not shy about.
Yeah, that's his plan. But like my argument has always been like we are.
Wait, hold on. He has a conversation with like maybe the Pod Save guys or Adam Mockler or a lot like a bunch of other like center left platforms, he'll describe himself as like a progressive, and he'll talk about the Democratic Party in terms of like we, like he includes himself like we, you know, like we the Democratic Party. And then he'll go into other spaces, and then on his own stream he'll have a completely different tone when he's talking about the Democratic Party. He talks about the Democratic Party on his stream when he's by himself as though they are, you know, an opposition party. And so like, there's a term for what he's doing. It's a term that is like rooted in like socialist literature. It's called entryism.
Yeah, but like I don't subscribe to that, because at the end of the day, this is the issue I have. We hold the power. Like, we are the party, we are the power, we are the liberals, right? There is no amount of leftists that exists to usurp us with that. What does exist is a need to some degree, cater in our Overton window, maybe needs to move a little bit or whatever, but to get us to something that brings these people in. So if it's these entry things or whatever, that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, these people aren't going to usurp us. We're going to be fine. Like, the Liberal Party isn't going away. And okay, I think we're over-indexing for the threat of, you know, the leftists in a way that is harmful, because we're just like completely discounting the votes that we need.
I mean, you can hold on. I want to give me just a second. I want to find a poll to show you. Fuck, where the fuck did I see it? Okay, I can't even remember where to look for this poll, but I don't think it would shock you. There's been many polls about like asking American voters what they think of the parties and what they thought of like Kamala Harris. It might have been deciding to win that. I don't remember, but like, if you had to guess, what percentage of the country overall across independents, Republicans, Democrats thought that Kamala Harris was too conservative?
What percent thought she was too conservative?
Yeah.
I don't know, 5%, maybe 10%.
It was about 5%. Yeah. It was. I think it was less. I think it was like 4%. And if you had to guess, like, what percentage of the country thought that Kamala Harris was too liberal? Like, what do you think that looked like?
30?
No. It was much higher than that. It was much higher than that. I think it was a majority. I'm pretty sure it was like 55 or 60%. So if you're trying to appeal to me pragmatically, then why would the Democratic Party not aggressively court independents, voters in the center? You know, it's hard to define these terms. They're a little bit murky these days, but
I want
centrist, moderates, these guys. Like, why would the Democratic Party spend all this time and resources and energy going after
I'm not
the
talking
demographic that represents like 4% of the country?
Did they have an impact on 2024 or not? That's why. If they did, that's why. If they didn't, then fuck yeah, ignore them.
This is something that is like up for debate. But the idea that like, you don't need to assign full blame to this group of people in order to criticize them. Like, if they didn't vote for Kamala, but they weren't the sole reason, they still contributed to her loss, you know? Like, if I don't know why, like, Newsom would even think about spending a dime trying to go after those people who saw everything that Donald Trump did during his first term and everything that he was promising to do. Even on Gaza, I mean, like, he was very out in the open saying, I'm just going to let Israel just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Which, say what you will about Biden, that was not his policy. I mean, I think he was...
He's more implicit about it.
Well, no, I mean, his administration definitely influenced Israel and pressured Israel to, you know, do things like allow humanitarian aid into the region. I mean, that would not have happened.
A lot of bad shit had to happen, and it took way too long.
No. That's not true, though. That's a different debate. That is not... No, that's not true, though. Like, I'm saying, in the earliest days of that conflict, the State Department went to Israel and they asked them, okay, so what is your plan for allowing humanitarian aid into the region? And Israel's response was, what are you talking about? We're not going to do that. They initially were telling the State Department, we have no plans of letting humanitarian aid into the country.
Hold on. I gotta Google something. I can't remember the name of this act.
Are you going to talk about like the Leahy laws right now?
Yep,
Is that what you're
saying?
saying?
That was it. Yep. Like
But no,
we
but
get
you're
that
not,
we get
we're
this
not
we get
staying
all
on my
this
point,
shit
though.
like after the fact, like after Biden
Well,
is gone, and we get all
you're
this.
deflecting away from my point, though.
No.
You're
My
deflecting
point
away
is
from my
that
point.
the pressure wasn't enough. We had more pressure that we could have put on, and we didn't. That was the issue.
I mean, I agree. I don't even disagree with
Okay,
that.
well,
But
that's my whole point. Is that, like, there was more we could have done, and Biden chose not to do it. So while Biden's
listen,
better than
I
Trump,
don't disagree.
it's just that.
But I'm just saying, like, when if you were someone who was a pro-Palestinian advocate and you heard everything that Donald Trump was saying very explicitly, like that he was going to
Yeah,
do,
wait, you're not
and
gonna
you
you're not
really
gonna lose me on
and
this
you
one,
really
man. I'm
thought,
with you.
and-
I'm with you.
no, I'm not talking about you. I mean the general you. And
The
if you
royal
really
you,
thought
yeah.
that, like, if you really thought that, there wasn't going to be much of a difference, Newsom should absolutely not spend any money, any time trying to court those people. There's a way bigger chunk of people in the country that are not totally turned off by Democrats, but they think they've gone too far in a number of issues. Like that is a way more numerous group. And the problem is if you spend a lot of time courting the, like 4% of the country that think that Kamala was too conservative, well, then you are significantly risking, perpetuating the sentiment, the anti-Democratic Party sentiment that people in the center have right now, because they think the Democrats are too liberal. They think they're too extreme.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Who thinks this?
A huge chunk of the country, bro.
But that's fucking insane.
It doesn't matter. It is what
no,
it
but
is.
like
I
you
agree.
with that?
I mean, but it is what it is.
Okay. Like, yeah, that perception is insane. But like, where does that perception come from? Like, this is actually something, like, to me. By the way, this is new information, so I'm engaging with this like completely neutrally. But the idea that like, where does this come from? Like, where does that sentiment come from? Is it trans issues?
No, I think this is a complex issue, I think. And I think it goes back like decades. And I think it has a lot to do with how organized and well-funded the right-wing media apparatus is. I mean, I can send you here. I just put it in your chat.
Why you do that? Oh, sorry. I probably have some fucking, I don't sorry.
Oh, you timed me out. What the fuck?
No,
I'll send it to you on Discord here.
Yeah.
Here.
Apologies. I don't know how to undo that. It was only 30 seconds.
Just look at that. Just look at that. Just look at that. I mean, this is like very, very relevant to what we're talking about.
Voters are very openly saying that we scold people and virtue signal too much. It's not made up
Oh
problem.
no, just look at the image that I linked.
Share voters saying each party is out of touch. Apologies, guys. I don't have it set up so I can share this with you. Give me a sec. I'll link it in chat for those who want to follow along. I put it in YouTube chat. I can't use the restream chat and share it with everyone. All right, let me read this. Share of voters saying each party is out of touch. 51% Democrat. Saying each party is out of touch. Democratic Party 51%. Democratic Party
in 2013.
Yeah, 2013. 70%. I mean, like, so, but we can discount. This is all voters, right? This isn't Democrats to Democrats, right?
This is all voters.
This is all voters. So, like, if I see that 70%, am I wrong for saying, yeah, I don't give a fuck what, probably 40% of that says, at the very least?
Well, I don't think you should be overly concerned that partisan Republican voters feel that way. But this among independents, like if you break it down, if you get more granular with it, and you can find this data, this trend to be consistent across multiple surveys that have happened at this point, where independent voters, the like 40% of the country that are not registered as Democrat or Republican, they have a less favorable view of the Democratic Party in this particular way. Like, but they have a higher percentage of them think that Democrats are out of touch than they think about the Republican Party. And this is a very real problem. It is, like, I agree that a lot of it is based on ignorance, propaganda, right-wing media apparatus just doing its thing and being really well funded. And, it is easier to demagogue than it is to inspire hope. So they have the advantage.
And I want to know what out of touch means to these people. Like, how was it presented to get, this answer, right?
Well, I mean, is this really taking you off guard? Does this surprise you?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, no, not a little bit, because again, when I think that like Republicans are included in this, I'm like, okay, right? Like half the country is Republican, so Is 70% of the 70% of people felt that way. It's like way significantly less in the voter block.
Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Republicans. Fuck the Democrats. Just focus on the independents. Focus on political independence in this country.
I would want to see that, right? I want to see what independents said yes to this. Is that broken down in the larger study?
I imagine it. Hang on. I can look up the article. It's an article that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, look that up. I've got to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Hey, man, you there? Oh. Hey, you there?
Yeah.
Hey, Elton needs to go out. Eve does too. I gotta walk them real quick. Also, Aaron.
I gotta actually take off too because I gotta feed my pets and then get dinner going.
Okay. Well,
so we can pick this up another time then.
Yeah, we can. Also, Aaron said you had said in chat asked her to join the call, so she was ready. But if you want to do that another time, you can do that too.
Aaron, if you're around tomorrow, I'll be live, like all day. So yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
and you too. We can all three. It's fine.
I'll be around. But hey, I appreciate you calling in. I just want to say, because again, like I hate the online shit. Like, yeah, like nothing I say, 240 characters doesn't convey shit. Like, none of this is fucking personal. Like, none of this is like, hey, I think you're a huge vile piece of shit. Nothing I've seen anyway makes me feel that way. This is just my passion and issue with what I think the impact is going to be in the long run. And I view these people in many ways as ideological opponents, but I also view them as, there are people within my party, even if we don't go to the far left, that I view as ideological opponents, such as fucking Federer, fuck, bitch, fuck, cheering on this goddamn war. Like, people that are going back to, when I think of the leftists and they say like lib shit, I've come to kind of understand what they mean by that, which is like all these people, raging about how they were against the Iraq war and all that stuff. And suddenly like, we're going to do, Iraq 2.0 in Iran. And,
yeah, I mean, all that's valid. Just don't, all that's valid, but stop I think it's bad when people say stuff like, "Oh, this is obviously a false flag in Texas." I think the conspiracy theory shit is
Oh
really
yeah,
bad in
like
this country.
I have no idea. That's something that confuses the fuck out of me. Like I see that tweet from Hasan that you're replying to, and I have no idea what conspiracy you're talking about. Like it's not. There's nothing like implicit that I can see that's a
Wait,
conspiracy theory in that.
no,
And I'm not
okay,
saying it's not.
listen.
I'm saying like I'm not seeing what the
Yeah,
fuck you're talking about.
you have to be a bit of a lore master. It was just like yesterday he tweeted out something to the effect of, "Oh, it's obvious that America and Israel are going to do a false flag terrorist attack to justify more military action." And so that tweet where he went, "Come on, man," that's he's referring to that. So he's saying like this is so obvious that it's a false flag.
I see, and this is again like I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this so that
1000%. I promise you that's it.
yeah,
I
but
promise you
I
that is
don't.
it. Yeah.
But from me coming from me, like I don't know how many times I have to say this. Like I have no love or admiration for Hasan, but like I see that and like knowing now that he tweeted that yesterday, or even without it, it's like come on man, like come on man, really someone had to fucking go do this shit with this shirt, or like this had to fucking happen. Like it's not to me implicitly like the conspiracy theory shit. It's like really fucking hell, dude.
Huh? Wait, what? You're saying it wasn't conspiracy? I'm confused.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like from the reading it on its face, it's like, okay, he's saying like, come on, man, like really, someone had to go fucking do a fucking mass shooting and
No, that's
and
not
wear
what
a
he's
property
saying.
of Allah shirt.
No, that's not
All
what
right.
he's saying. It's
Well,
100,000. He's saying that's a false flag. That's what he's saying. Look through the replies.
all right,
Look through the replies to that post. I promise you.
all right, I'll go take a look at him. And yeah, I'm down to chat tomorrow. I know Aaron will be. So, yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
I'll be on all day. Hit me up.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
Bye bye.
Bye. All right. Well, I will be around for questions, but my dogs need to go to the bathroom, so I will be right back. All right, we're back. Now we can do fun and relaxing things like League of Legends. Oh, the funniest meme to come out of this horrible tragedy with the Iran stuff is the memes about please Iran, do not strike our most classified, secret, important facility, and it's the Riot Games headquarters. How we doing? Also, I have to fix some shit in chat. Like, the links should be postable from people, you know, with old enough accounts and all that stuff. But I gotta fix that. We'll do one more ARAM. I've never tried Zaheen. We're gonna try him. Oh, yeah, I have played this guy before. I think that was a good combo. I think we got into a lot of the issues that are important to me. Like, at the end of the day, I just don't think that, you know, I think the approach to lefties needs to be more pragmatic. I don't think that we're helping ourselves or doing ourselves any favors. I think that the left had more of a, like the further left folks had more of an impact on the election than a lot of people expected, myself included. I don't remember really thinking that, I don't remember myself thinking that like these folks were going to have a huge impact. I do know that the Gaza issue was, I think, more important to more Democrats in the wider spectrum than people realized. But yeah, I just want more pragmatism when it comes to the approach to all this. I want, I want the issues that we cover to be the ones that are actually going to move the needle. And I think moving the needle towards getting more of these, for the left communities, hey, the pendulum swings both ways. The same way that people can be radicalized, they can be de-radicalized. And, I even use that term radical, like, loosely, because it's, I don't think that we're always accurate with our lever that we like to point in that direction. Why have I started streaming more recently? I'm bored, really. I just, listen, I want to hit, I think I've learned through the ecosystem that if I can hit Plat or Emerald, I can be a League of Legends streamer. And I think at that point, I've decided that I am mentally ill enough that would be wonderful. So it's really just been something fun for me to do, unwind, stream my games. But the politics stuff has always been important to me, and I want to comment on that. I want to be, part of those discussions, especially like the stuff kicking off in Iran. Like, that shit's important to me. As someone who's served in both Iraq and Afghanistan, I want to offer my voice. What I've seen, what I've learned, what I learned during the conflicts and being over there, what I've learned since. Yeah. So that's why I streamed today. Like, the Iran shit popping off is really what made me go live. I didn't serve. We were in the same time, but I didn't serve with him. I didn't know him overseas. Did I grab the wrong item? What am I building first? Why did I grab that mallet? I didn't grab that mallet. I grabbed this. What the fuck does that build? Oh, we got the wrong direction. Well, we'll go with this first, I guess. The Iran shit's so fucked up. Ugh. Ooh, dead. Oh, and apparently it's showing the wrong screen. Hold on. There you go. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, thanks for the heal. Also, if any of the other sounds are too loud now, I had to adjust them for Hutch. So if anything gets too loud, let me know. I think we'll talk about this tomorrow, but I think just one of the less satisfying things from the Hutch conversation, or just his stance, is this is, there are enough people talking about, like, the liberals and what the liberals need to do better. Like, I'm going to focus on the leftists, and it's like, I think that Adam Mockler's approach and the way he talked to Hasan, whether or not Hasan's being honest, I think that his approach ultimately is better. It really is. I think that more of his audience is going to be listening to someone like Adam Mockler than someone who, denigrates and demonizes the community figurehead. That is the case across the board. Think of your favorite Twitch streamer, think of the beefs they've had, and I just don't think that that anyone has been open to what the opponent is saying when they're attacking the figurehead on what seems like a personal or irrational basis. I don't know how people get enough stacks with Zaheen to stay alive or to trigger the passive. I don't fucking understand it. All right, hold on. Here's a Hasan clip. He's talking about Hutch. But give me a second. Oh, I'm bad.
That's right. I'll be right.
I looked at this the other day, and Lycan Cooks isn't wrong. In the last week, while Hutch has been arguing with DGG about moderation and yelling at Hasan in the news, there was a MAGA shooter at Mar-a-Lago. Mexico attacked the cartel. The Clintons testified at Congress. Zoran handled a historic blizzard, and right wing yelled about Snowgate. A massive consolidation of huge news networks was bought by Trump-friendly billionaires. Gavin Newsom had a terrible book tour. Texas had a huge primary Dems showing up. And Hutch has been talking about chat moderation, arguing with DGG, calling him out, and shitting on Hasan. Hate Hasan all you want, but he's covered all of that while having Obama's NATSEC advisor on, Ro Khanna to discuss Iran, and North Carolina rep candidate to discuss her campaign and AI.
I'm gonna die.
That's true. I did do that. What is this? Lycan Alex Jones' level of conspiracy theory nonsense is not a problem exclusive to MAGA and the right. Hey, just curious, are the next few weeks / months, depending on the length of the conflict, going to be mostly dedicated to useless Hasan coverage, or do you plan to try to do something important on this issue? What the fuck, lol? Friend, if you don't like the stuff I post, unfollow, mute, block me. That's a nice cop-out response. It would be way more honest to say you like the positive benefits it brings your channels, and you value that more than meaningful substantive content. You're not saving America by dunking on Hasan to an audience that already hates Hasan. Damn. Also, I'm not even fucking wrong.
This man called me a Zionist,
what
by
am
the
I
way.
supposed to say? The timing of this is not suspicious? I literally tweeted yesterday, if there's any terrorism that happens on U.S. soil now, you will never be able to convince me, nor millions of other Americans, that it wasn't Israel and America conducting it together to rally the masses to support an insanely unpopular war.
I don't subscribe to the
Liberals also love doing
any
this.
sort of conspiracy shit.
And it's
but
just crazy when it comes to Muslims. It's like,
is that what he's saying? Is he saying,
on US
yeah, I
soil
do
now,
think that?
you will never be able to convince me, nor millions of other Americans, that it wasn't Israel and America conducting it together to rally the masses to support an insanely unpopular war. Liberals also love doing this, and it's just crazy when it comes to Muslims. It's like they forget that this administration is the administration that literally sent this shit out. They are still pushing the narrative as someone wrote anti-eyes on their bullets.
Oh, how did I do that?
You know? Like, liberals forget that it's the same Trump administration all of a sudden. When it comes to fucking potentially Muslims in the crosshairs, or potentially like Israel first foreign policy, the same liberals that were like, very interesting that this administration is doing a very bad, their very bad job creating domestic propaganda, are fucking turning around and going, nah, this time it's real. This time it's definitely real. What is
That sounds a little... Is that conspiracy posting? It sounds like it. But, like, it is one of those things that, like, you know, do I like the Trump administration comes out and ICE does something bad, and it's like, yeah, no, whatever the fucking admin says happens when an American citizen dies, I don't buy it for a fucking second. And every single time so far with ICE, it seems to be proven such that, yeah, they were fucking wrong. Ogre boy, Gifted subs. Fuck, dog. I don't think I've had gifted subs in forever. You love my jungling? Thank you.
Enemy has been slain.
You should top lane for me someday.
Ace.
It sounds inappropriate. We are so fucked. Oh yeah.
Double kill. Aced. Your team has destroyed a turret.
It is freeing to see such spirited youth run off to battle like this.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Ascended, dark,
Do not embarrass me.
blade between.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. Killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
Not enough stacks.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm gonna mute my my audio real quick. I want to listen to something. Give me 1 second.
An enemy has
All right.
Though I no longer wield the Aeon Erna, my eyebrows still remembers what I taught her.
Urges grace.
6, 13, 13. My like second time with Zaheen. I'll take that.
an enemy has been slain.
Oh, zoned out. Bad time to check text. Woo!
An enemy has been slain.
Dude, you lose those stacks so fast. Holy shit.
Victory.
GG, well played. I don't know who actually did the best there. was more focused on you guys and whatnot. I heard a hype chest. Open to see your reward. Open. A button mash emote. Share. Look at that. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Thank you for, again, Ogre Boy, for the donations. All right. I'll let you guys choose my next jungler. I'm not going to set up a poll. You can type in chat, but we're going to go back to the jungle. Now, you can choose any jungler that I have access to. But my mains are Warwick, Volibear. Oh, has the new patch come out? What is this? 26.5 release date. March 4th. Okay, we're not there yet. So Volibear, I think, is going to come back #1 with the new patch, but we'll see. Whew. I haven't done had a conversation like that in forever, man. It feels like old times. It feels like back in the day. So if you're curious, Warwick's a main for me. Volibear's a main for me. Briar's a main for me. Xin Zhao is, I would not say main, but we're down with Xin Zhao. Malphite is one of my best win rates, I believe. But there's someone we ban every time, and his name's Jax. Engage with this question truthfully. Do you want Hasan the Hun to take over and rule the universe, kind of like Thanos? You know, no, I don't. But there is no one that except myself, that I would trust with that authority and power. But then again, if I had the gauntlet, here's something I don't understand. I never thought about this till now. 1 second. All right, it's a Briar game. Fiddlesticks jungle, huh? Something I never thought about. Why doesn't Thanos snap his fingers and make sure there's resources for everyone? How about that? I'll be right back. Noodle on that one. Cup half full kind of guy. I see what you did there. I got my boy Elton here. He's breaking my heart. He wants to play with ball. I'm gonna play a couple more games, and we're gonna be a responsible adult, and we're gonna sign off for the night. But All right, so we see barrier top, huh? Oh, we got a thresh bot. Yeah, we're gonna path bot. Please ward, please ward, please be a good mid laner and ward. What a good lad. What a good lad. Warding for us.
When people talk about their first language, why isn't fabulous? Let's go again!
We know that game sounds good for you guys.
Hold still! Start to see. I'll fight you and your kids!
I'll fight you and your kids.
Now that I think about it, fighters are honest, but it's the fighters who start wars. You don't have to fight. Just share your blood. You protect, I attack. Ha!
Do not grieve.
Don't fuck with me. What the fuck was he doing? What was that bard doing? Because he's not a commie and you're supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, blah, blah, blah. True. Thanos was not a commie. Then again, there are a lot of communists in the past that have, you know, engaged in massacres of people, you know, for the greater good. So, wouldn't have been necessarily out of character for some that have historically been communists.
Try to taste through. I can't
An
hide.
enemy has been slain.
I must dig.
Fiddle sticks, no.
Whoa.
I lose it. Take shape.
I was made for this.
An ally has been slain.
I'm gonna die.
Has been slain.
Yep. Damn. Fiddle got two. Fiddle got two. Chilaquiles being made with some runny, sunny side up eggs. More cooking, less gaming. That's how you change the world. Dude, Aaron's sister came one weekend, and Aaron told her that I've been craving chilaquiles, and she made them. Oh, God. First of all, they were incredible. Second of all, burned my ass out. They were hot, man. They were fucking hot, but good. Get him, boy. Oh, what was that shit? Oh!
I might be a weapon, but now
He's so fast.
I wield my
Why he's so fast? I don't think my Ornn knows what he's doing. He hasn't died yet, which is good, but where was the control of that ult, man?
nature's more out of control than I am. I don't lose control. I free myself from control. Light on my Got to act.
Enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Keep their heads down.
My stomach's louder than my mouth. Oh, that was fun. I'll savor this.
I don't know where everyone is, so I'm not gonna risk it.
You like fighting too?
Fuck it, got it, whatever. Eat shit. 224, 221. Yeah, we're golden.
A summoner has disconnected.
No, not our summoner.
An enemy has been slain.
I went straight for the item. Maybe not the best, but
Still. Ears have a nice mouthfeel. Very chewy. Of course! Mouths water because they're crying for food.
An ally has been slain.
Not polite to nibble on friends.
Ornn, heal up.
Finally! Is not choosing a choice? No. Yes. 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 You
All right, we're kind of slacking on the jungling thing. I mean, mid's doing fine, so I'll take a fed Yasuo.
Aw, my hair's fading already? And I'm fresh out of blood.
All right, we got a lever. We got a lever, and the enemy team has speeders, so we're gonna see how this goes. What's that scythe that does more damage to turrets?
Is life the hunger of death? Moving on four limbs was so much easier. Got you. Here I come. Finally.
Rampage. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
You want to go with those boots? Is that what I want to go? Hold on. AD, AP, AD. He's gonna buy magic pen, so I guess I gotta get those. I would go with those. And then from there, he's stack. Oh yeah, we're gonna go.
Too much control or not enough?
A summoner
Not
has
just as a character
reconnected.
different.
Yes.
You're strong, and I'm strong.
Welcome back, Ash.
I love a good parent.
I am Briar. I am Briar. You cannot fucking stop me.
An enemy has been slain.
I don't care. I am unstoppable. I am an unstoppable force. One to be reckoned with.
Everyone's got a pillory of their own. I'm just on the
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Let's go again.
An enemy has been slain.
It's time. Still hungry. When people talk about their first language, why isn't body language an option? Yes, new team. They all- Now that I think about it, fighters are honest, but it's the liars who set rules.
Damn.
Could have used some more self-control. Like me!
What a good game. What a good game. What a good game. You know, we had to leave her. Not their fault. Seems like the computer crashed.
My team
Your turret has been destroyed.
This never ends.
I can taste through windows. Why can't I eat through windows?
Oh, we have 3K gold. I think it's time to go home. What do you think of the Muslim Brotherhood? Should you be worried? Is there something new happening with the Muslim Brotherhood that I'm unaware of?
I might be a weapon, but now only I wield myself.
Your turret has been destroyed.
We gotta get these mid fuckers.
Nature's more out of control than I
Oh, I needed to heal so badly. Ah, get a thresh, yeah. 3 for 2 is good. 4 for 1 is better. Or 3 for 1 is better. Hey,
Killing spree.
3 for 2, we'll take that. Go Yasuo, go Yasuo, go!
Destroyed a turret.
Qatar has more money and American now by Qatar has more money, do you mean like Qatar has sent more of their kids? I guess that wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't necessarily make me concerned. Like the Bin Ladens went to US universities, so yeah, I'm not gonna soy out over that. Really? That's interesting. But again, is that like from families of alumni, or like, I wonder what the reason is for that? Because I in no way, shape, or form do I think that Qatar's donations to U.S. universities are like turning Harvard and Columbia anti-Semitic or any shit like that. So I'm curious what like the source is. You know, is it families for people who have gone? I didn't even need to tell this Thresh. He knew. God, I love a good Thresh. Holy shit.
Rampage. Your turret has been destroyed.
stomach's loud.
Oh, I still got it. You skank. Oh, I'm so lucky that I didn't take, because I had no get out of jail free card. My E was on cooldown.
Just one cat.
Dude, what a fucking game. Holy Nikes.
A little bitter for my taste.
Like 12, 5, and 11? We're on something here.
has been slain.
Are you saying like? I'm sorry. Which protests are you talking about? Like, look who's protesting there. It would not surprise me if every single Ivy League liberal college is having significant protests right now, especially with like the war that's starting. Like, I don't expect otherwise, and I do not care. I don't care who funds it. Like, we should not be having these wars. So if that's what that's about, do not care. Hey, you fucking goober, what are you doing, huh?
Resist their fate.
I got to pay. We're not losing this, right? 2 dragons. They got the grubs. I got the rift. I see no evidence of that, and until I do, like, to me that's just racist. And if there is radicalization, like, we've had Arab students come to these fucking countries, we've had foreign, dignitaries, kids come to these countries forever. Like, I'm not gonna treat them like fucking radicals until I see some evidence that, like, that is happening. And then we will I want to excise the radicals. I don't want to excise everyone. I do not want policies that blanket discriminate based on our fears and woes. I want rational policy.
Of course! Mouths water because they're crying for food! Yeah! What a rush!
If you want to come here, bud, please do. Please, God, do. Because guess what? This wave's going to come, and we're going to come, and that is going to happen. Leviosa. God, Leviosa. I really do need to buy soon. This kill would be amazing. Fuck you and your demon. You wrote it on. So you know why I'm doing well this game? Because I'm not throwing my fucking ult around like a psychopath. Normally, when I do this game, or play Briar, I do that. Oh no.
Food doesn't have to be blood? Huh.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Enough. Let's go again.
All right, are we throwing? We're not taking too much damage. What do I want to do? How's the armor? No armor. No armor. Armor. No armor. A little bit of armor. Do I want to go? Do I want to execute?
An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Double kill.
Do you want to go Hydra? We'll start down this path. We'll see where we land.
Did that happen because I had too much control? Or not enough? Aw, my hair's fading already, and I'm fresh out of blood. Life the hunger of death?
All right, we're gonna split push.
Moving on four limbs was so much easier.
An eternal ring.
Come on, fight me. Come on. Want to fight me? Come on. Yep. Well, look. Oh, I have my armor. My armor is reduced.
Everyone's got a pillory.
An ally has been slain.
Nope.
Today's
Never mind.
Are they testing strength or maybe marking each other's
Shut
shit?
down.
I'm not full yet.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Your turret has been destroyed.
How do we win this? Is it Titanic? Do I go Titanic? Do I just get tankier? I guess I do.
Your inhibitor
guess I
has
have
been
to.
destroyed.
When people talk about their first language, why isn't
Oh, this is my last
body
item.
language an option? Here I come. Could have used some more self-control.
Dominating.
It claims you.
Oh, fuck, we're throwing. We're throwing.
An ally has been slain.
teeth are bored.
An enemy has been slain.
Damn. Despite their enters and all this shit, we're gonna lose. All right, folks. I'm gonna wrap up the stream. It's been a good night. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'll post the VOD for today, either tonight or tomorrow. But thank you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Dominating.